I knew you was a fucking mission, and you never say please. I knew you was a fucking mission, but nothing else is free. I knew you was a mission. I knew that you were me. I knew you was a fucking mission, and you changed my destiny. I knew you was a fucking mission, and I knew it gonna hurt me. I love it.
Hello, chat. We're back trying again. We're trying again. All right, and then if it doesn't work this time, then I guess I don't know. Then I guess I'd just die. I guess I just die. Yeah. Dude, I did not you guys ever dude, I felt like today I didn't produce enough shareholder value. I'm not gonna lie. I did not produce enough shareholder value. I feel like when I take ADHD medication, unless I produce a lot of shareholder value, I'm like, I'm a fucking fat fucking chud. You know? Does anybody else feel that way or just me? Is this like a Protestant work ethic I need to work out of my system or something? Probably that. Probably that. What is up? Did you hear that Now Recording came back and there's gonna be an EDP? Yeah, somebody mentioned the EDP doc last stream. I think it was KJ. He told me, he's like, look, EDP, a documentary. But yeah, I will see if Now Recording sticks around. But yeah, getting it. Well, the bad weather should have passed, is the thing. But yeah, I'm self-flagellating a bit by talking about my shareholder value. Well, like, here's the thing. So I woke up today, and I was up late, so I didn't get sleep. And then as I woke up late, I got up, I sat down to do pod, because we do Loaded Dice on Monday. And then I was supposed to have D&D, but D&D was canceled today, because Toxic was busy. She's doing, I don't, whatever the goblin aficionado herself does. So we canceled. And what did I do after that? Dude, this medication's really strong that I'm on now. It's not like Giga strong, but I'm still trying to get used to it. So like, if I get locked in on something, dude, if I get locked in on something on this new medication, I get locked in and then like fucking 4 hours pass, dude. Like, it's crazy. So I need to try and like build a system around that. But we'll see. What is the medication for? ADHD. That's what it's for. But I think I got locked in because I had never. So it was two things. I had never gotten my measurements done at a tailor. Okay. And I was looking up how suit sizes work so I could get a jacket. I know it's not jacket weather, but it will be jacket weather soon, you know? And so I was trying to figure that out, and I'm like, all right. What I need to do is just put on some jackets and then go from there, okay? And so I went to a thrift store today, and it was like a nicer thrift store. So it wasn't no like Goodwill or nothing, right? And I don't know what people are given, but like there's so much awful fucking garbage that is in a thrift store. I was figuring, because my town is filled with geriatrics, that there must be good clothes made from non-synthetic materials. No. No. Okay? Everything is synthetic materials in there. And I don't want to wear 100% polyester polo. Who wants to wear that? What are you fucking gonna swim in the pool right after you do some hedge trimming? Like, what are we doing? It's not even like I want really high end like things here, right? Because I've talked about how I like shop at like Uniqlo, but like when I buy cotton, it is cotton. Okay? Like when I buy cotton, it is cotton there, right? When I buy linen clothes, the clothes is linen. But I go to, yeah, it was Plato's Closet, okay? Because we don't have any mom and pop thrift stores. But when I go to the thrift store, it's just like, I don't know, like Tommy Bahama Boomer. And they threw out all their polos that they got from J.C. Penney's, but they like only bought the Lacoste polyester polos. And that was like literally 99% of the men's section. Okay. And so I'm just like thumbing through it. There was some like sweaters there that were kind of nice, but I couldn't justify to myself spending money on a used cotton sweater in July, you know. Is there a reason you don't want 100% polyester? You should be swimming every 5 minutes. If I was an aquatic mammal, then yeah, maybe we could be talking about that. Okay. You got to go to estate sales for the good clothes? All right. So the answer to my problem is that I need to be paying more attention to the obits. Okay. Man-made materials are easy to care for. You're starting to get into things like linen and the amount of care you have to take with washing, ironing, and etc. goes way up. That's true. That is true. That is true. Having to learn all those things is annoying, but it doesn't like feel bad to wear. There's something like really weird about wearing it. And you just never look good in it. You always look like a cross between somebody who's going to go on like a bike marathon crossed with a fat dad who's ruining the burgers on the grill. You know what I mean? But there wasn't any grails there, is what I'm saying. Okay. But if it was not July, I would have bought the quarter zip sweater. Okay, but I can't justify to myself buying a quarter zip in this weather. All right, I just can't do it. Anyway, I went around just looking for whatchamacallit. Trying to figure out what size suit I wear. And then ultimately the equation was I should probably just go to a tailor. But I'm probably like a 44R or 44S, in case anybody was curious. Maybe a 46S. It depends on the cut of the suit jacket. I really wanted like a tweed, I really wanted like a tweed sports coat, or like something your professor would wear. You know what I mean? I used to dress like that a long time ago, and I stopped dressing like that because in my freshman year of college, people kept like grilling the shit out of me, being like, "Ha ha, fucking nutty professor over there. uh, it'll be not July at some point in the future, Diesel. I mean, yeah, man, it will, but I was just like, there are better places to be spending my money than this right now, right? Like, if I buy something, I want to wear it, and I'm gonna look like a crazy person wearing that in this weather, right? But it's been a very rainy July, which is raining on our proverbial stream parade, okay? It killed last stream. It is what it is. It happened. We were talking about the quartering. Things happened. I know there's other stuff going on. I'm sure I could talk about it. I want to talk about this, okay? Fuck you. I can talk about whatever I want. I run this ship, all right? I'm the captain. Still, you should take a look at Corset Vest. It would let you really dress up that look of yours. Okay, all right. I would be open to wearing... I need to work my way up to it. I don't think I have the confidence for it right now. I'm going to be introducing suspenders into my wardrobe. But, I did look at, like, some waistcoats and vests. I would rather start with that. All right? I don't want to go up to, like, the next level of that, because that's really outrageous. You should be wearing the maid dress daily. This has all been a part of my, like, looks maxing journey, okay? Hey, boss, have you heard of the Ding Dong and Julian 24-hour rant-a-rama? You're lucky that I'm, like, a weird internet freak that understood what that meant. Yes, I do know about it. That is on the docket at some point. Okay. Suspenders will definitely work. I can definitely do suspenders. I was worried that if I did suspenders, I'd look like a fat unk, but I'm not a fat unk, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm trying to. This is all part of the looks maxing journey. Okay, that's why I have the Korean skincare routine. It's why I do all other bullshit, okay? This is downstream of that same arc, okay? The same book, different chapter, all right? I've already ingrained the Korean skincare routine into my life, so there's nowhere to go there, you know? I'm not gonna be like... I can't min-max it anymore, man, you know? Yeah, keep your pecs prime and they make suspenders look perfect. That's so fucking true. That is so fucking true. That's exactly why I'm doing that. I think suspenders would be a really good mix-up. I don't want to look like fucking a honky ass. Cause like there's definitely a way where you're like, all right, Doctor Who, calm down. Right? I don't want to do Doctor Who. but like a hot English professor is definitely doable for sure. Drop the skincare routine. Oh my gosh. It's like 7 steps long. It's a long one. Well, I have a different one in the morning. So there's 3 different types of the routine, right? There's the pre-gym routine. If I'm going to the gym, the routine changes. If I'm not going to the gym, the morning routine is different. If I am going to bed, and here's the big one, the nighttime routine is the most important, okay? That is the most important, right? Because you need to be putting that retinol on, all right? And you know what? Don't listen to the internet. Go up to the higher percentage retinol. It'll be a little tingly for a few nights, but you'll get over it. No, I have a homie of mine. I have a homie of mine, he wears a bow tie and he makes it work, but he's a computer scientist. Okay? So you could be a computer scientist and wear a bow tie, but you can't be me and wear a bow tie, all right? Cuz I feel like it would make me look like the JD Vance with the spinny top hat. I don't like it. I don't see it. God. I just splashed tap water on my face. Tap water's literally free. That's different. You know, that works. But yeah, sunscreen is also like pretty much non-negotiable. You always put on sunscreen before you leave the house. Absolutely, absolutely. Anyway, that's enough about my skincare routine because I'm insane, I guess. But this is all part of that same arc, all right? I'm trying to. I need a look. I need a thing, right? Because if you guys ever go to the store and you see my brother there, my brother is a big cowboy hat guy. Did you guys know that cowboy hats are like really popular right now? Cowboy hats are really in. And I am not wearing a cowboy hat, okay? Cowboy hats, cringe. Can't do them. Not gonna happen, all right? I don't want to hear it. Some of you guys might be like, cowboy hats are kind of gas. I disagree. I can't do it. I've never ridden a horse. I'm not going to start anytime soon, okay? But for some reason, wearing a cowboy hat has like this weird effect on people if you're the one wearing a cowboy hat, okay? Because my brother will wear the cowboy hat, and they're like, that's a guy who's in charge. What do you mean that's a guy who's in charge? He's wearing a cowboy hat. That's your idea of a guy in charge? Is a guy with a cowboy hat? What is he selling the Doug Dimmadome? What? And that always chapped my behind, right? Are they doing the whole cowboy fit or just the hat? No, he'll do like a Hawaiian shirt and cowboy hat. Hawaiian shirt, cargo pants, cowboy hat. Right? And so that's what he'll do. And you might be like, that doesn't sound good at all. That sounds terrible. I'm being honest. The outfit, when all three items are worn together, is cohesive. Okay? It's cohesive. It's a cohesive look. Right? It's not even a bad look. I'm not even going to say it's a bad look. But something about how people perceive a person wearing a cowboy hat is insane. Okay? You don't need to defend your brother. No. There's a reason I don't wear a cowboy hat. I think it's outrageous. It's not defense. If it genuinely looked like fucking ass, I'd be like, it looks like fucking ass. Right? I would just say it. But something about it has people respond in a way that is abnormal. Okay? I don't know what it is. People respond to the cowboy hat as if it's like a sign of like authority. I don't get that. And this happens all the time. People are like, oh, cowboy hat? That guy knows his stuff. What do you mean? But I swear to God, that actually genuinely happens. Is he putting on an accent? No, he's not cowboy LARPing. It's because people associate it with confidence and leadership like the Western movies. Yeah, or the show Yellowstone. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's definitely it. That's definitely it. And by the way, this doesn't mean that, like, my brother is, like, 100% LARPer. Obviously, it's like, he doesn't ride a horse, Okay, but he is outdoorsy as fuck. Like he knows his shit for outdoorsmen's like stuff, and he takes very good care of his cowboy hats. He got it steamed recently. He does do that, Q. He does do that. uh, just dye your hair. I don't think I'm at that point in my life to do that. Maybe. That's like a little later down the line. I think if I start to get more grays, we can talk about that. Okay. If I get more grays on my head. There's a lot there now. I'm pretty much salt and pepper. You guys can't see it on the camera, but I am. I am. Anyway. I need a bit, right? Like everybody's got a uniform, right? I need a uniform. And so I need to do that. Dude, we've been over this. Baby steps. Wear a button down first. Cat, I wore a button down today. I changed out of my clothes, which was a pair of brown linen slacks and a green linen button down, like an olive button down. And that's what I wore today. I had my tree fit on. Okay. Would you dye it your natural color or would you do fun stuff? I don't know, man. I don't know. I would rather like maybe I would get like a I don't know. I can't think of a way. I feel like I would look a little corny if I did that. I don't think it would have the right kind of zest, you know what I mean? Wow, this is fucking disgusting. What the fuck? KJ, what the fuck is this? Crumble has a flaming hot Cheetos cookie this week, and I just wanted to ask, who asked for this? It's not only horribly disgusting, it's really weird with the lime cookie and frosting matched with flaming hot Cheetos flavors. Yeah, ew. This is like, dude, Mormons will do everything but have a margarita, bro. That's crazy. Linen fancy. No, you can get linen for really cheap. Anyway, we were talking about the quartering and his fuck ass coffee company. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna do that again. Hopefully the internet stays up, and we're just gonna get into it. All right, because it's been a half an hour of yapping, so it's more than enough time to get back on the horse and get back into this. So we'll just get back into it right where we left the last video off. If you're someone who's like Diesel, I didn't see last stream. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. It was about 45 to 50 minutes of me talking about some bullshit, and then the stream ended. Oh, shit. Anyway, the quartering is talking about his coffee company. And he talks about how it's like white labeled. And the only thing that happened last stream is me explaining the difference between white labeled and drop shipping and all of that yada 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 bullshit. But there's really like I've gone over this and I've explained the difference between white labeling and drop shipping all the time and why dropship products might not be that bad, but maybe you want to start looking somewhere else if you're looking for deals versus like other things like that, and then that's how you like deal hunt.
Crumble, but I wouldn't call what they make cookies.
They're like handheld cakes. They're handheld cookie cakes is what they are, you know. But my point is that I don't necessarily even have an issue with drop shipped items. Sometimes I know that I buy drop shipped items. I buy drop shipped items from Amazon quite a lot because most of what's on Amazon is exactly like that. It's whether or not I feel like I paid a good price or a unfair price, which I think makes a difference, right? Like, obviously, there are some items where I'm like, I don't need that right away, and I defer to AliExpress or like Taobao or like any other like Temu or something like that to get the item. And I'm like okay with it taking longer, or okay with it, maybe coming dinged, or it's impossible for the item to get fucked up. Like for example, if I buy aluminum camera parts, so here's an example. I can actually show one right now. So I guarantee you, so this is made by, so this says that this is an Elgato hot shoe, right? So I'm holding a piece of camera equipment right here, right? And this little thing is what a camera would go on, right? And you could buy this from a billion different companies on Amazon, right? I think what they do is that it goes to a company that prints this Elgato label on this, and then you get this when you get the Elgato prompter, which is their teleprompter. But this is definitely a white labeled product, right? Many companies make this product unlabeled. There's probably a factory that makes these and then labels them, is what I'm saying, right? Now, I didn't pay for this. It came free with my purchase. You end up with a lot of little like metal aluminum, machined aluminum pieces like this when you have camera equipment. And a lot of it is like white label stuff, right? Free. I mean, I paid for the prompter, right? But they didn't include the cost of this like hot shoe. Or like Small Rig makes these aluminum camera parts, right? And you could buy a Small Rig one, but there are companies on Amazon that have a different sounding name that when you buy the parts from them, they are just unlabeled Small Rig items. Okay? So there's tons of companies like that. The difference, free is pay for shipping. No, I got free shipping because the item was expensive. Right? But that like all of those different things can be white labeled products. But yeah, I mean that's why AliExpress, Of course you can also get fucked on AliExpress too. That's completely possible because you're usually buying from the factory. But it depends. This all depends, right? It's the same way where I'm like plastic stuff that I need to buy off of if I'm buying something from Amazon and I know it's drop shipped, I'm really paying for the convenience of getting it there in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of what it is. I think a lot of Americans kind of look at drop shipping or white labeling as bad, when in reality, the only reason they don't realize something is drop shipped or white labeled is because it didn't know any better, or the company didn't say it, and so they just assume that the company isn't like hiding that fact for like a long period of time, right? But a lot of it is, because there isn't a lot of American manufacturing that's going around. So if you're like, I don't want to pay for drop ship stuff, which is you saying, I don't want to pay for like fucking Chinese goods. Okay, sure, whatever. I don't want to pay for white labeled items. I want the real McCoys. Okay, well, you're probably going to be spending a premium to get that then, which if you're cool with that, sure. I just don't really foresee a world where I'm comfortable paying a premium for like, and I used this last time, I'm not comfortable paying a premium for the plastic visualization timer. Okay? I don't need to be paying more than whatever the fuck I paid for this. Right? But a lot of people treat it as if those items are worse, when in reality, the only thing that would change is the price. Right? If you're being charged a fair price for the item, that's chill. If you're not, then that's a different story. Right? Now, with that being said, okay, and I'll get back to the quartering in a little bit. This is all related to him. If you're sitting here going, what the fuck does this have to do with quartering? The quartering's coffee is white labeled, okay? So a different roaster makes his coffee, as far as I am aware, right? Or everything that I have seen about it says that it's white labeled. Now, it could be drop shipped, right? And that is possible too. But everything I've seen has pointed towards it being more white labeled. But I think he might have said something else in a prior video, so it might be different. So we'll just use this as a hypothetical. Actually, no, it doesn't matter whether or not it's a hypothetical in this equation. Here's the thing. Coffee is a commodity, okay? Coffee is a commodity, which means that its price is dictated by the market. Have we all heard about how like oil prices rise and fall with the Strait of Hormuz and its closure causing spikes in oil barrel prices, right? That's because it's a commodity, right? So people go and they trade those commodities the same way you would stocks, right? There's also really funny Wall Street bets about people trying to short positions like this, and then they end up becoming the most preeminent owner of gourds in Minnesota or something, you know? But so coffee's prices can be dictated pretty easily, right? There's a lot of public information for you to know the price of a coffee. Of course, roasters get coffee for cheaper because they buy it whole and they buy it raw. And so it goes to the roaster as a green bean, and the roaster takes it and they roast it, and then that's how you end up with the brown beans that you then grind and put in your cup of coffee. So in between them getting the big tons of coffee, going to the roaster, and then selling it to you, generally speaking, your coffee that you drink is going to be about $14.99. That's where the market has kind of settled for the time being. Now, it was like that for a while, and margins were decent. Tariffs ruined that because tariffs caused the price of the beans being imported to rise. No, it's not 15 euros for a cup of coffee. It's a bag of beans. We're talking like, usually it's like 8 ounces towards a pound. I don't know what that is in grams, but you can do the math. We still have tariffs now. We get rid of them and then they come back, and then we get rid of them and they come back. There are now tariffs on Canada again. It is very illegal what he is doing, but that's another discussion for another time, okay? Don't get distracted. So it would rest around that $14.99 mark. Depending on certain characteristics about the coffee, it might go up to $20, right? You might spend $20 on a cup of coffee, not a cup of coffee, on a bag of coffee beans. If you're spending $20 on a bag of coffee beans, you should know what you're buying, okay? You should absolutely know what you're buying. Generally, I've spent $20 on a bag of coffee. I knew it was single origin. I had been to the roaster. I knew where the bean came from. I knew what the flavor profile was going to be. And I knew all of their manufacturing and all of their stuff was like above board. So like I was okay paying that premium, right? Generally though, you don't want to be paying that much for coffee from what I've seen. I don't think a lot of people want to pay that much for coffee. So when the tariffs hit, and this is from personal experience as somebody who runs a business like this, when the tariffs hit, the margins that we would make back on coffee shrunk. Okay? So they shrunk. And instead of raising prices, we just decided to take less of a cut of profit in the hope that the tariffs would be removed later or something else, right? And that the prices would come down in the future, because that can happen with coffee because it's a commodity, right? If coffee yields are really good, the price of coffee might go down because of all that, or we can not raise our prices and then later on be able to take more of a cut and we'll be fine again, right? Because the prices will stabilize. So I am able to make money from my coffee sales at that price, and I don't need to do things that are bad. Like hashtag not an ad, but technically kinda. Uh, our coffee is USDA organic. It's fair trade certified. And those things are really important for a lot of coffee drinkers. When it's fair trade, you know that it's not made with slave labor. When it's USDA organic, that probably doesn't mean that much for people, but a lot of people don't want chemicals in their coffee. It makes a lot of sense. So that was like the comedy answer from the president, but the tariffs that are on Canada now are part of a cringe trade negotiation from the president towards Canada. And then he said, well, now we got to have the tariffs go into effect because they're making the air bad, right? But the tariffs were coming regardless of whether or not the fire was happening. But the fire gave him an excuse to mock Canada while starting the tariffs. Does that make sense? You're the only commentator YouTuber I know who's into coffee stuff, so answer this for me real quick. Why the hell does the Quartering have so many fruit-flavored coffees? Why make coffee fruity? We will get to that in a second. But all that to say, the Quartering's coffees were selling for about $21 a bag, and you would get about the same amount that you would get from like myself or any other competing coffee company. Okay? So, in my opinion, as somebody who operates in this industry, he is probably making a larger cut per bag of coffee that he sells than I or other people that are pricing our coffee much lower. And that means that we can do two things, right? One, it means that I hold Jeremy's coffee to a higher standard of more, artisanal coffee blends and brands. And it also means that I start to ask questions about more of the specifics about his coffee because of that. Because its price, to me, as somebody who is a consumer and connoisseur of this, I find it a little strange that it's so much. And the fruity stuff is exactly why, right? So coffee can be fruity, it could be sweet, it could be floral, it could be very aromatic. But Coffee Brand Coffee is putting flavors on their coffee. When I bought coffee from them, Coffee Brand Coffee, I did not buy a flavored one because I did not want to drink flavored coffee. You can get flavored coffee in a lot of different places. You can get it at a grocery store. There's a company called Bones Coffee, which I think I've talked about before, where they make really weirdly flavored coffees like cannoli and dulce de leche and all of this stuff. And those coffee beans are artificially flavored. So they put a flavoring onto the coffees that you then drink when you drink a cup of coffee from them. And that is what I saw from Coffee Brand Coffee, or what it appears to be. Okay? Now what is the phrase? You can like gild a goose or something. You can like pretty up or put makeup on a pig, right? You could put makeup on a pig and make a bad coffee a good coffee by flavoring it artificially. Okay, it's the same thing that what a creamer does. Flavored creamers are flavored, and whether you notice it or not, flavored creamers are to make up for the coffee you drink being fucking ass, actually. Because if your coffee is good, you can just use milk, okay, and maybe some sugar, and you'll get the same amazing experience. But if you're like, this coffee is bad, I'm drinking Folgers instant. You might put creamer in it that's flavored because it'll cover up the bad taste of like all the shit that's in it, basically. So that is why that happens. Is it possible to flavor coffee naturally? For example, squeezing orange juice onto the beans. The way that I see it, most of it, I'm not gonna say that you can't, because I just don't know, because I'm not a roaster. But coffees are flavored. Depending on where it is, what type of bean it is, where it's grown, who's growing it, all of those things change the flavor profile of the coffee beans that you're drinking, right? So they are going to taste different. And a lot of them have natural flavor profiles. There was this, I wish I remember the name for it. I went to a coffee bar in New York City, and it was like a Japanese coffee bar. And you go in there, and during the day, it's a cafe. At night, it turns into a bar. The bartender is also the barista, and they make mixed drinks with the coffee during the day. So you can use coffee the same way people use like gin in a drink, right? So a lot of people, you could do that, right? Like you could get an orange rind and do that on top of it. Like you could make drinks like that for coffee. Like you really genuinely can. Yeah, fucking Dunkin' in the blueberry coffee, right? So, since we're here and we're talking about it, and I'm on the tirade about what it is, let's talk about what white labeling is, because I talked about drop shipping last time, but drop shipping, in short, is your business is the middleman. Let's say I start up a Shopify website. That Shopify website says, you can buy my coffee. You buy the coffee from the Shopify website. That order is automatically sent to whoever produces the coffee. They bag, put a label on it, and ship it. And you, as the middleman and the drop shipper, just handle the middleman transactions. If there's an issue with an order, they're probably going to contact you. You'll be like, oh, there's an issue with the order, and then you respond to it. But you don't touch product. You don't bag product. You don't put product in boxes. You don't ship product. Okay? The only thing that a drop shipping site does and what it focuses on is marketing that object to the consumer, right? And you might be asking the question, why would a company ever do this? If I was a coffee roaster, and I don't really see coffee roasters doing drop shipping. Drop shipping happens more for clothing or cheap electronics or plastic goods. But let's just keep with this hypothetical, right? If it's drop shipping, right? What do they exactly do? And why would a company want to do that? So, I sell let's say I sell t-shirts. Okay, I'm a factory and storefront that sells t-shirts. Think like Gildan t-shirts. There's many t-shirt, basically a company that makes blanks. Okay, let's say I'm a company that makes blanks. I could reach a lot of people by selling these t-shirts, and some companies do. We know what Gildan is. We know what Champion is. That's another company that sells a lot of blanks, right? Those companies sell their shirts, and you could buy them, right? But what they do a lot of the time is they say, okay, you want to sell t-shirts, we can provide t-shirts, right? And so that other company comes in and they say, okay, we're going to sell t-shirts and you're going to make the t-shirts. And they say, yes. And so they sell the t-shirts to that company at a reduced rate. They pay a cost of it, right? So when you pay for the t-shirt, you're paying for basically the cost of them making it. And then that t-shirt is sent to you, but that other company never touches it, right? That other company, the only reason you knew to buy that t-shirt is because of their advertising, because they advertise in different ways. So why would you want to drop ship? Why would you as a company want to participate with a drop shipper? Because they can focus on advertising and you can focus on making stuff, making and shipping. You don't need to do anything else other than what you agree to on paper with them. So it saves you a bunch of time. You make money. They get to focus on advertising. And if something bad happens, it's on them, not you. Right? So there's a lot of incentive to do that. White labeling is similar, but a little different. Basically, the gist of both of these scenarios is that the company in this equation would not be able to reach you, the customer, without putting in extra effort. So another company coming in and saying, we'll do the effort for you and we'll buy product off of you is a really good deal. It's a really good deal. The less work you have to do while being able to make money is always going to be a good deal. It's like, why wouldn't you? And there's a lot of products that are designed specifically for that purpose. Same thing with white labeling. Pokimane, you remember when Pokimane was selling her healthy cookies? I used this as an example before. The healthy cookies that Pokimane was selling were expensive. They were expensive because she was marketing to a audience that had more disposable income. Now, if you could get the same cookies by buying them from Costco, and it would be cheaper. But the packaging wasn't the same. And the pitch wasn't the same. The marketing wasn't the same. Right? And for a lot of people, and I know we want to act like it, we want to act like we're smart little cookies and that we're not, that we're immune to propaganda, okay? But that makes a difference in what we purchase. The people who are buying the cookies from Costco are not the same kind of people who are buying the cookies from Pokimane. These are two different audiences of people. Now, is there overlap? Maybe. Is there no overlap? Possibly. They get to permeate a market they weren't in before, and they don't need to do the work to do it. So they will do it. Okay? Yeah, so much of a company's costs are stocking inventory. Having to have that very rarely bought size on hand gets expensive. Yeah. Yeah. So that is what white labeling is really good for, right? White labeling is really good for, and I'll talk about our coffee roaster. So I don't roast a coffee. I've been in the room. I have met all the staff there. It's a really small business. It's not like we're just like white labeling some fuck ass Folgers or something, right? We have a really good deal with him. We work really closely with him. Our beans are the beans that we like. The beans we sell, they're just for us. He doesn't sell those. Okay, so they are for us, because we've been good customers. But he roasts the coffee. And then he and I, many times it is us doing it. Most of the time it's the MPT staff, that includes myself, my brother, and our employees, are the ones labeling the bags, right? When you buy our coffee. So we buy the inventory from him. So we buy at a reduced rate, and then we sell you the coffee, right? But why would he agree to that? His name is John. He's a roaster. So why would John agree to that? John is in some supermarkets, but his coffee brand and the coffee that he is selling can only reach so many people in a specific area. Another company coming along and saying, we would like to buy coffee off of you and we will sell it, is a great deal for him because he produces more than he sells. He gets to sell extra inventory to us. And then we sell the inventory to people who weren't going to buy his coffee to begin with. Or maybe not even know who he is. We're targeting different demographics, right? So that's why you would do that if you're on the coffee roaster side. And why you're on my side. Now, of course, could I buy a roasting machine and buy a commercial kitchen and buy all this space and do it myself? Probably. I think I know enough that I would be able to. But I've got enough right now, and I don't need to do that. And, like I said, John runs a family business. And when I mean a family business, I mean it's like 3 of them. Okay? Everybody's making money at the end of the day. There's no reason for me to really do that. And there's no reason for me to lie about that either. I don't need to lie about that. Obviously, if I didn't feel confident about my coffee, I wouldn't say anything about it like that. If I didn't like any of it, I wouldn't say any of this, right? And again, you're going to be paying the same price from me that you would pay from John, okay? Now, my margins are thinner than John's because I buy the coffee from him, but that's totally fine, right? So, I guess you could technically buy from him, but when you're buying from us, right, you get the experience is different. The product experience is different. And I know you're all sitting there going, fuck off, Don Draper. But it's true. Because the experience of drinking the coffee when it's themed for D&D is different. When are you going to have a D&D coffee? You're going to have it when you're playing D&D. You're not going to have it in the morning. You're going to be like, oh, I got a long night ahead of me. Let me go make myself a fucking cup of fucking goblin-themed coffee. Get myself in the mood. So it's a different experience. And I know you're like, okay, all right. But it's true. And it makes a huge difference for people. Oh yeah, we gotta talk. We'll talk about those in a little bit. Thank you for that. But yeah, that's that. I will say the fucking tariffs and the way that the world has been, I'm gonna have to fucking come up with a new decaf coffee. Because I'm not gonna be charging. I'd have to charge you guys like $30 for a decaf. So we'll need to do a different one. Yeah, I need to switch out to decaf in the future. The beans are too expensive. And you have the President of the United States to thank for that. I would just like to let you know. And I won't bring a new decaf in until I test a bunch of coffees. So I'll need to drink a bunch and figure out which one I really like before I introduce anything new into our lineup. I wanted to do an espresso, but we're going to have to switch out to decaf at some point. I also don't know who... I gotta figure out, like, a bunch of shit for it. So it's just not been high up on the list of things to do. Anyway, with that being said, and with all of us now being knowledgeable, okay, I am going to click on the Coeur d'Ore's video now. I am sorry that you guys had to listen to that Marketing 101 class, but yeah.
In the coffee world, there's probably 5 or 6 facilities in the United States that do this. You buy the coffee for maybe $7 a bag, $8 a bag.
Okay, is this guy about to just explain white labeling to me? Hold on. This is where we left the video off last time. He was just driving around in his fucking little closed door ATV.
Country, all across the world, shipping. This is one of the common critiques. One of the dumbest criticisms of my business that's ever existed. So what is drop shipping? Drop shipping is very simple. There are companies all across this country, all across the world that sell a product, let you put your label on it, and then make some money. They make some money selling it to you, you make some money selling it to someone else. It's that.
But you're just not explaining drop shipping right. I know that I just went over it, so I'm not going to repeat it again, but that is, like, you're just straight up explaining white labeling and then calling it drop shipping. You were calling it the wrong thing. That is wrong. That is not correct.
Simple. In the coffee world, there's probably 5 or 6 facilities in the United States that do this.
That do drop shipping? I mean, maybe. I guess. it's kind of hard to produce that much. I don't know why you would do that.
You buy the coffee for maybe $7 a bag, $8 a bag.
Yeah, I mean, generally, yeah, around 7 to 8, more like $9 these days. If you're paying, first of all, if this guy is paying $7 a bag for Coffee Brand coffee, I think those beans were made with small child hands. I gotta be honest.
You sell it for 12, you make your $3. It's completely hands off. They handle all the customer service. They handle all everything.
Are there seriously drop shipping coffee companies? I literally don't know about any of them. I do not know a single one. I don't know how you would be able to do that.
That is a true drop ship. White labeling is not necessarily a bad thing. It still could be a high quality product.
Drop shipping and white labeling aren't a bad thing. I've already established, but you know, feel free to disagree, I guess, if you want. Have fun buying your fucking $400,000 sneakers.
In fact, there's even like VPN softwares out there that are white labeled. Bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that NordVPN sells white label stuff. You know, all this kind of thing. It's a totally legitimate business model, and no criticism against anybody who does it, because generally when you're talking about like YouTuber coffee or whatever, people just want to support the creator and they don't really care that much about the coffee. This was one avenue I explored.
I mean, yeah, but like when I think of YouTuber coffee, so if I think about the coffee that Jacksepticeye has done or Peter McKinnon, those were collaborative coffees done with a coffee roaster. So they weren't like running a coffee brand. They were partnered with an established roaster for a limited run roast. You know? Did he just say NordVPN dropships their VPN? No. So what he is saying is that NordVPN sells their VPN service white label to other VPNs, and both of them make money from it, which is possible. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Deeply, I know all the providers. I know who sells coffee to all your favorite YouTubers. But that's not.
I wish I had my brother on speed dial right now. I would love to know what companies are doing drop shipped coffee. You know, that's very weird. But I don't think that's what that is, right? When a YouTuber has an affiliate code with a coffee brand like Coffee Brand Coffee, they are just an affiliate. Anything more is a completely different scenario, and I just have not seen that. I literally have not seen that. I have seen maybe like 1 or 2 VTubers with like a tea, and they work with like a tea company or like a candle company, and that's like a different thing. But like, I just don't see that a lot. I don't see a lot of YouTubers like, a lot of this is like, you're putting a lot of money into this, okay? You put a lot of money into this. Like, it's like, if anybody went up and came up to me and was like, Diesel, I really want to start my own coffee company just like you, I'd be like, I don't know, you got like $8,000 lying around, man. I don't know what to tell you.
My business model. In fact,
do you think that he knows about your coffee, Diesel? I highly doubt that. If he does, that he is terminally online and has nothing but time on his hands.
You know, these failed investigators out like in Missouri and who think that they know anything, I've actually white labeled my product to other YouTubers.
So you have white labeled your coffee to other people? Okay. So then you roast it. So you're saying you roast your coffee? So you're the originator, or you could be the middleman between the middleman, right? You could be the guy who white labels from another roaster, and then once those white labeled coffees come to you, you white label them again and sell them to someone else. That is true. But the cost that I see at Coffee Brand Coffee, by the time we get to the third coffee seller in this chain, we're talking like really expensive coffee now, okay? I don't foresee that. And I would love to know who is on the receiving end of the Coffee Brand Coffee white labeling program, or who works on that side of this equation, because I don't see that. And I am pretty plugged in specifically to that.
Now, could you imagine if my business was drop shipping? How could I do that? Well,
I'm pretty sure you could do that if it was drop shipping too.
There are more energy drink powder collabs than coffee and tea. Gamer Fuel, Gamer Sups.
Yeah. Yeah, but and you know why? It's because like, it's just because of the audiences that are gonna get exposed to the product. I think you're more likely to sell a Gamer Sups to a VTuber viewer than you are to sell like coffee to a VTuber viewer, I think. So he did sell Tea Brand Tea through Sydney Watson, who I think he was talking about, and it was completely unprofitable for her. Sounded very drop shippy with the side doing the drops. Okay. Yeah, different demographics. Okay.
it's because my business is not drop shipping. There's another aspect to the coffee business. That is, you could build your own.
He is very cagey on how his business works. I don't know why he's so cagey about it. I guys, like, this isn't complicated. I know what I'm saying might sound complicated, but like, you could straight up not have a degree and do what I have done. 100%. 100%. Like, this does not take a genius to figure out. Maybe, yeah, some paperwork, and like, yeah, you need to not be ass at math, but this is not rocket science. So I don't know why every time he talks about this, he beats around the bush the entire time.
You know, you could have the coffee roaster in your garage. You could do, and there are people that do that, you know, but
you don't do that, right? Like, you don't have a commercial kitchen where you roast coffee. So what is your role in this? Do you buy from a roaster and you buy white label, and then you hold on to that inventory, and then your warehouse or wherever you store your coffee, which should be food safe, by the way, wherever you fucking store it, and then it goes out to customers that way? Is that how it works? That would have to be how it works. There has to be somebody I just want to know if there's like a guy that you have that's in a warehouse packing boxes.
everybody that starts out the way I started out. In fact, Black Rifle Coffee started out exactly the same way. Use the exact same facilities that I did in many cases. It's how you start a business.
So you're white labeling another coffee is what it is. Because Black Rifle Coffee was white labeling from a liberal coffee roaster. From what I remember. Because they had like they got in a bunch of shit for that, right?
So you find a facility that roasts coffee, and you say, I'd like to buy coffee at wholesale. And they say, we would like to sell you that coffee at wholesale. So when it comes to me purchasing coffee, I look at the green prices on the market. It's a futures market, so you buy many months in advance. And it's complicated. It's some level of guesswork where you have to understand what your volume's going to be.
Is he buying on... What is he... He's buying on the market? This is very weird. Because what happens, right? And I've chatted about this with John, right? He has a personal relationship with the farms that he buys his beans from, and he negotiates the price between them. Obviously, the market changes the prices and rates, but everybody knows what the prices and rates are going in, right? So it's not like it's not like it. It's very strange. Why? So you're buying the beans, and then a different company is roasting them, and then you're paying for the labor, and then it's being white labeled, right? Is it?
But anyway, I digress. So First of all, this idea
Quartering doesn't understand that the backlash from his coffee being a white label is because Jeremy taunted his haters before as if he's the one making the coffee. Which is true. Yeah. That's another thing, is that Jeremy kind of made his own bed and now he's trying to walk it back.
that my coffee company is dropship is complete nonsense. People who don't understand.
I'm sorry, but a lot of what is happening here is that people not understanding what drop shipping versus white labeling is versus not understanding the idiosyncrasies of how like a business is run is allowing Quartering to try and lie here on camera. But obviously it doesn't work, and of course Kino Casino has taken him to task for these things as far as I am aware. But like this is incredibly comedically duplicitous with how he is so cagey and inconsistent with his definitions of these things. You know what I mean? And that as a result of it, kind of is not very honest in my eyes, right? I have no reason to lie about my coffee. Like again, it's so not that complicated, bro. Okay? Like
understand what drop shipping is, think because I'm not picking the beans and I'm not roasting them in my garage.
No. And here's the thing. This guy is, you are making an argument. You are, first of all, this is a straw man. This is a straw man. Okay, let's go back to fucking high school debate class, because that's a fucking straw man. Nobody is bitching and moaning that you're not in the fields picking the Peruvian beans on the side of the mountain. You probably love that all those brown people are picking those beans, but that's neither here nor there. Nobody is saying that why isn't Jeremy out in the fields picking the beans?
That it's somehow dropship. They're dumb. People who say that are dumb. Of course, I use a roastery to roast my beans. Of course. The difference is between dropship coffee and say my coffee is that you cannot get my specific flavors anywhere else because
so it is white labeled. So it's white labeled. You sell white labeled coffee, okay? You sell white labeled coffee and then you say, "Hey, we want to make flavored coffees. Can you flavor the coffees with these artificial flavors? I've bought the artificial flavors." And they say yes. And then you continue to white label their coffee. Then that is what it is. That is what it is. That's why you have those specific flavors. Those are fucking artificial flavors. Okay? Those fucking disgusting shit flavors that fucking ruin coffee and give you fucking microplastics in your fucking bone marrow. Okay? I don't know if your coffee does that. I'm not saying it does. That's a fucking joke. But like it's not like a win. Okay? Hypothetically, anybody could start up a relationship with the farms that make our coffee and then go to them, buy the coffees from the farm, and then just completely go around the logistics network that Mana Potion Coffee has, and I guess sell the same fucking beans. Okay? You're probably not as good of a roaster as Chan, but like... like, sure, I guess you could do that.
every one of them has been personally dialed in by me and the recipe is trademarked.
It's dialed in by you. Okay. If you guys drink a lot of energy drinks, you ever notice that some energy drink artificial flavors taste almost serendipitously similar to different energy drink artificial flavors? It's almost like there's a limited amount of artificial flavors that exist in reality. And the thing that separates one artificially flavored drink from a different artificially flavored drink is the amount of artificial flavoring in those drinks. I gotta be honest, I don't think you're making like a transcendental new product. Now you could definitely trademark it from what I know. I'm not a fucking trademark patent lawyer guy. But let's call a spade, okay? Because it's not that different. Coffee is a beautiful beverage to have on its own. It is enjoyable. Good coffee is delectable, and it has a variety of taste. You could legitimately be a coffee sommelier, okay, with how amazing and vibrant and different coffee is. And a lot of coffee, you know, you could also get into the weeds about stuff like, I don't know, the inequalities for coffee, right? Where a lot of the people who pick these beans are never treated well. And that's also another thing, right? Which is why you need to have like governing bodies that protect those things, right? Or you could get in with coffee on the barista side, where some of the most talented mixologists and bartenders and even, you know, full-time baristas in the world produce incredible drinks that are mixed, that are coffee drinks. And I gotta be honest, I don't see any of them using artificially flavored coffee. Okay? It doesn't happen. A lot of coffee snobs cannot stand artificial flavoring. Amino Energy Blueberry Lemonade is so good. I can't wait for my Tau proteins to entangle. Yeah, there's only so many tastes in the world. Dude, the peach flavored G Fuel tastes identical to like a few other, what was it? Somebody was like, smell this. It was like a peach flavored soda, and somebody was like, here, smell this, and I smelt it. It smelled just like the G Fuel. It was crazy. It's not to knock G Fuel. Obviously, I like the caffeine, but like, I was like, oh shit, this smells exactly the same. Or have you guys ever had there is it might be a Ghost or a C4. It might, but it's like fruity cereal, and it tastes like Fruit Loops. The Fruit Loops energy drink that tastes like the cereal has the same flavor as the fruity cereal protein powder. I shit you not. It's identical.
Not necessarily trademark, but it is. I can't think of the right word, but
It's not. It's patented. It's patented. Ah, okay. So apparently, Black Rifle Coffee Company roasts their own beans and always had the store. It just wasn't always theirs. Okay.
it's exclusive to me. So you might see a blueberry crumble coffee.
Sounds like something Rise would make. Rise has a fruity cereal one too.
Jeremy needs
Yeah.
to come out with a coffee flavor of Basement Train Rust, S0Y Sweat, and Man Milk from his moves.
It would be a lot better if Jeremy just started making like say what you will about Gamer Sups. I think Gamer Sups doing like boob sweat energy drink and like fucking like lean energy drink was a great idea. I've wanted to make coffees that have those. I want to do stuff like that, but our brand it doesn't align with our brand. So it just hasn't existed in my mind's eye. I would love to make an energy drink. Many years in the future, perhaps, but not now.
I gotcha. There's somebody that sells blueberry. I challenge people to buy it and then taste mine side by side and tell me if they taste the same, because they don't. I don't use the same beans. I choose the beans. I choose the flavors. I choose the flavor levels.
I gotta be honest, man. The things that he's describing are not like crazy, right? Like he's treating this like he's like a flavor scientist, okay? Like he's like a gastronomist or whatever. But what? Like I chose the beans for ours, right? We had like 30 cups on a table, 30 like shot glasses of coffee, and we went and we tasted it, and then we were like, and then we and then until we chose one we liked. But he is kind of treating this like more than the sum of its parts. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Blood thinks he's the Willy Wonka of coffee. What does he mean by choosing the beans? Like picking the species of beans they grow? Or like he goes out in the field and handpicks the ones that look the best? No. So he goes to the coffee roaster and they have a big list of different coffees that they roast from the farms that they go to, right? And then he picks the type of bean, right? So it could be like they all have like really crazy names, right? They're like usually like you know, some like very specific like region in Africa. Usually a lot of them are like named by a region in Africa and their location, and then that's what the type of bean it is, or like some place in Mexico, like Chiapas, Mexico, something something. I can't remember offhand, right? But all of those things, and then those are like the beans that you can choose from, right? But he's just he's really misrepresenting the reality of the situation, of that you could 100% do all of this from your desk and not taste a single thing. Like you could legitimately do this by not leaving your bed. Okay, he's not fucking going into a food lab. Okay, he's not like turning the dials on some big who's it's what's it's machine. Okay, none of that stuff is happening.
Flavor of coffee that I sell goes through about 15 to 20 taste tests from me and my wife to dial it in right.
So you taste the coffee 20 times to Oh shit. Okay. I don't understand, man. Why, if this is so crazy, first of all, this is a vlog channel. Would this not be better of a vlog if we saw Jeremy be like, today we're going to the coffee roaster. I'd like to introduce a new bean to our lineup, a new coffee to our lineup. Here I am walking into the roaster, right? Jeremy is not trustworthy. So you'd think with a vlog, you have an opportunity to show your process and be upfront. So why does he not do that? Does that not make sense? Would people not be interested in that? Would that not immediately show that he knows what he's talking about and that he is on the ball about this?
I choose the level that I want it roasted from my roast partner. It's very simple. It's how every major coffee company has started. Now, again, I want to point out, no disrespect to people who do dropship coffee. It's totally fine. It's a totally legitimate business model. But my coffee is simply not dropship by any definition. I work with partners. It's like people would act like it's...
So I don't understand. It is white labeling. You are describing white labeling in this. Just call it what it is. Why are you not calling your business what it is? Why are you so afraid to say it, dude? Why are we talking about dropshipping? I'm not even saying it's dropshipping. Why the fuck are you saying it's dropshipping? Is it dropshipping? Do we need to start reevaluating the circumstances of which you run your business?
The gotcha that I don't print.
I'm sorry, didn't he buy coffee equipment to make the coffee and he like lost a bunch of money? Was it not a thing that happened and he had to like raise money from his fucking rube of an audience?
My own coffee bags in my house. Well, you might be...
Yeah, having a partner doesn't mean you're not drop shipping either. If you're a drop shipper, you'll have some kind of partnership with the supplier. Yeah.
Surprised to know that I buy my coffee bags from a partner. A partner...
Yeah, no shit, of course. Of course you buy your coffee bags from a partner. Even if it was drop shipping, you would be buying the coffee from a partner. That would be included in the price when the order is placed by the customer.
Roasts my beans. A partner does a lot of things. My graphics, right? I outsource my graphics. Well, he's really...
Well, now it's starting to sound like you didn't do anything. Like, yes, no shit. I didn't draw the pictures on the bags of coffee. No fucking shit. Okay. I had a wonderful conversation. His name is Figburn. Figburn is a great artist. Has gone on to do Contract Rush DX and Undertale Yellow. So an Undertale fan game that got pretty popular. But they and I spoke at length and went back and forth on what coffee, like what would be on the covers of the bags and we were really. I don't remember who picked the font. It might have been me that picked our like brand font and like a lot of our brand colors. I think I did. But it wasn't like I outsourced it. I was there. The only thing I didn't do is draw the picture. And now obviously like I have people that do like other stuff, right? Like I have a guy who does graphic design for like our calendars for the store, right? And a lot of that holds the same like, you know, it has to abide by our like I forget the word for it. There's a specific word for it in like marketing and design. But our brand Bible, right? About what fonts are okay, what fonts aren't okay, how big it is, what it's supposed to be, what colors are there, what colors are not supposed to be there, all that shit.
An employee that does that, but I don't understand why the internet has glommed onto this the way it does, but trying to understand the internet is stupid. No one should ever do that.
This guy is so fucking brand standards. Thank you. I'm glad you're still watching. That helps.
But it is dumb. There's no there, as Dan Bongino famously said. The truth is, these people are dumb. And
I love how this guy does not really like, this is a vlog. It would be so easy to just show, not tell, because you act like a smug, annoying fucking idiot when you're like, people are dumb. They just don't understand anything better. If only they were smart like me, then they would not be having these kind of problems. It's like, well, you know, maybe people would find you more believable and more trustworthy if you fucking showed people things.
they don't like me. They don't want me to succeed. But
Oh my God, my haters. The haters don't want to see a white man winning. They want to keep a white man down in this woke world. The leftists don't want to see an apolitical coffee company win. Fucking honky.
although you can pick up some of my coffee at buycbc.com. It takes you directly.
CBT? I think the branding for Coffee Brand Coffee is probably one of its biggest detriments, by the way. I think the way he has marketed it has positioned it in a very bad place.
At our Amazon store. You can't get my flavors anywhere else. You can't get my roasts anywhere else. Now, you might argue, well, I can get Colombian beans from whatever. Sure, you can. Won't be.
I mean, theoretically, I could completely go right around. I could find out what type of bean your coffee is, or what blend. It's probably like they're probably blends. Most of them. I know you have single origin, right? But yeah, I mean, I technically probably could completely circumnavigate and then reproduce your coffee. I guess I could. I could probably do that.
exactly the same as mine. And here's another the big gotcha. So this past week, these morons, so I showed a shipping label by accident on my live stream. And what happened next was exactly what's been happening for the last year to every partner that's worked with me, because these people who are supposedly against life ruination and messing with people's money, they're all frauds and liars.
This guy, it's really hard to be like, this guy should know better, right? Because this is like exactly the kind of thing that if somebody is owning you, they're going to be screaming from the rooftops. Okay? How do you not think that Andy Worski and PPP aren't sitting there in their chairs going, ah, laughing at you when you say that? Because you sound like a man about to cry. Okay? Even though you might not be, that is what that is the vibe you give off, Grandpa.
You know, failed race car drivers, failed, comic books.
Dude, the whole like failed race car driver, failed comic book, failed any of this stuff is corny as hell, right? Because you only lose if you choose to stay down. Until death, all defeat is temporary. All right? A guy failing at being a fucking race car driver or failing at being a comic book artist or whatever the fuck. I think he's talking about Vito there. right? I don't keep up with these people unless there's a new one that I don't know about. But the game's not over till the fat lady sings. But you look infinitely more childish and more petulant to be like, well, you're not winning right now, so guess you're a loser. It's like, you're 40, right? You're in your mid to late 40s, maybe early 50s. And you're pocket watching someone who chastised you for being an annoying asshole and specifically mentioned the issues that they had with you, and instead of addressing those issues, you've chosen to pocket watch them. There is no more, like, you aren't, like, the most felted man is also somebody who pocket watches, okay? Like I knew Too Mad was washed the day that he started pocket watching, okay? His fate was sealed then, okay? It was like a fucking voodoo doll had the big stake go right through the middle of it when he was like, you're broke.
Aren't how I want them. They're all failures in life. And they think they want everyone else to fail. It's the crabs in a bucket kind of mentality.
They want everybody else to fail. Oh my god.
But I want to explain, before I explain the big expose that happened, and then I've got a little tip later in the video to share that I think is pretty fun. Just some of what these people who just want the truth have been doing. They've been going through my garbage cans. They have showed up at my partners' places of business. They've showed up at their businesses.
So is his coffee roaster like very woke liberal? Is it like, yeah, this is a vlog. Yes. Like is it like a liberal coffee roaster? Because if I was a liberal coffee roaster, I think there's a certain point where you have to go, is the money worth this? You know? Is the money worth this?
And harassed employees. They've called the FDA. Of course, the FDA laughed at them because, again, there's no there there.
Well, you know, the FDA doesn't care right now because we're in the fuck you and die economy, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
They've called local food companies or whatever. They have harassed my partners.
You know how easy this would be if you were just very open and honest about these things? Like the reason that they are going through all these lengths to try and figure out who's at the heart of Coffee Brand Coffee is because you are being deliberately cagey about it. I'm not saying that you should get on camera and show your whole ass, but, like, you know, I think a lot of coffee drinkers are really happy to have more understanding of the things they drink. They like that. That is something they like.
People that make my bags, the people that...
It's owned by 2 women who do Pride Month celebrations in the heartland of Utah.
roast my beans, harass them.
Well, I want to know how those ladies square that circle.
Showed up at their places of work. Why? I don't know. It's extremely weird. It's just like, I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of things you could criticize me on. A lot. Okay?
That you seem to be a not very intelligent man, I think is one of them. I hope there is a second partner that helps you run the business side of things, because I doubt you understand the full machinations of the business of which you are in charge of, really.
But this is like the dumbest thing, and they've really picked on it. So when they say they care about the truth, and when they care, they just really want transparency. No,
dude, this guy does not stop ranting about how fucking owned he is by a bunch of people talking about how he has a bull.
They don't. They want to harass people, emails, phone calls. I mean, I have security footage of these idiots showing up at one of our facilities. People say, Jeremy, why don't you just sue them? It's not worth it. These people have nothing. I can't take it from them, and there's no point. But the fact of the matter is, my business model is very simple. There's really nothing complicated about it, but it's not drop ship. Simply not. Every other YouTuber that you think...
Yeah, it's not drop shipped. I know that's not the argument. Yes, chatters might be saying that, but that is not what anybody who has any skin in this is saying. I don't know why. I think it's because JR purchases through an LLC and they probably have no fucking clue what he actually does because he probably uses an intermediary. Yeah, I would imagine that he has somebody that handles a lot more of this stuff. Okay? Like, he just spends so much time staring at people who fucking hate his guts.
Of is drop shipping for the most part. But that's not what I do. I made the decision that I wanted to build a brand.
And then on top of that, he keeps talking about these other people in making other YouTubers doing drop shipped coffee. Who? Where? Who the fuck are you talking about, dude? I want to know too. I want to know who's doing drop ship coffee. You know how I don't ever see YouTubers do like brand partnerships with like a coffee or tea company. That doesn't fucking happen.
Coffee Liberal Tears Coffee or Coffee Coffee or something stupid like that because I wanted to build an actual brand. We're close to being into Walmart, and it's I don't know why they want to destroy this business. You know, we have employees, they're trying to ruin their lives, and it's pathetic. And the people that are viewing this,
yeah, the K-cup machine, the K-cup machine controversy, that was the thing I was thinking about.
And like partaking in this and acting like they just care about transparency, they're lying. Because I see the emails from my partners when they're harassing them. They forward them to me. I see the security footage when you idiots show up at our facilities. I see your YouTube videos when you're talking about going through my trash cans. All of this to do what exactly? Discover the truth? The facts of the matter is, this is
I know damn well you are in talks with Walmart.
a very dedicated group of people with nothing better to do, and I respect that. Hey, people get bored, right? All right, I'm gonna check this other one now. People get bored. I understand that. Ugh. But there's nothing there.
He keeps pluralizing facilities. There might be, I don't really know if he moves that much volume. You know, that's the real question. I feel like Coffee Brand Coffee's marketing is solely done by YouTubers. And I don't know if that's really the only avenue that you can do. I think, you know, these affiliate link codes that these YouTubers got, I don't know how much the click-through rate on all those things is. You know, I really don't know. But I don't think he's moving that much volume if it's only that. I've never seen Coffee Brand Coffee advertise, really. Perhaps they do. Perhaps I don't fit the demo for that. Perhaps my meta profile says that I actually like woke coffee, not apolitical coffee.
Level of harassment. And I'm talking about, like I said,
Yeah, I had the first K-Cup video, but here we go. He describes his company completely differently. So this is on the live stream.
This is not a man that has a great track record, okay? But let's take a look. A huge shout out to everyone who's supporting my coffee company, Coffee Brand Coffee. You can just head to buycbc.com. It'll take you to
buycbc.com is CBC. It sounds too much like CBT. Okay? It sounds like CBT. All right? These are things that marketing people sit around and think about because CBC sounds too much like CBT.
directly to our Amazon store. We will also be available on Walmart very soon. I'm roasting up our first order. I'm really excited about that. And then soon Target. So we're expanding rapidly. And then we'll be in Canada by the end of the year. So all my Canadian viewers will be able to get our products.
Yeah, CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, it's cock and ball. Yeah, coffee and ball torture. Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy.
So I'm in expansion mode, big and heavy. Need your help to build up some cash to put through these giant new orders. I put our
Dude, these K-Cups are fucking expensive. They're fucking expensive. You're telling me it's $2 per K-Cup, bro?
Our dark roast K-Cups, which are our top sellers, 30% off right now if you're looking for something to try. But we also have butterscotch toffee, our another top seller, blueberry cobbler,
Coffee-based cuckery,
and cream. We have 100% real Kona. We have decaf, double calf, a silky ultra dark roast. We only have 5 of those left. We're running low on that. We have a light roast.
Dude, it is so... Dude, doing the selling through Amazon is such a ass pain. There's like a reason that a lot of like good coffee is not sold on Amazon, all right? There's, I would not buy Amazon coffee. I'd be afraid about how long it's been staying there.
Ethiopian, all available in whole bean, ground, and 5-pound bags. So remember, buy cbc.com if you're a coffee drinker. We're roasting our fall flavors right now, so we're bringing back Spike Jack-o'-lantern. We're working on a new maple pecan flavor because viewers have requested a pecan flavor, so I've been taste testing that. Our Christmas flavors, gingerbread and vanilla sugar cookie, are coming back for the holiday season, so it's a really great time.
Yeah, you said anybody can start an Amazon store, to be honest. But I see a lot of the coffee that's in like those, like, it's almost like weird, like vacuum seal plastic bags.
To give our product a try. If you're looking for something to try, just try the dark roast. It's 30% off.
Yeah, the prices to sell on Amazon are just fucking so expensive that there's no point for a lot of smaller companies to be selling on there, which is why a lot of these Chinese companies like Fang Xiaobing are like selling their stuff through it, and it's like filled with a bunch of slop on Amazon.
And until they're sold out, obviously, but check that out. Fauci's personal.
But yeah, it's like it's a completely it's not the same thing. Like, he's talking about it like they're trying to make more money, too. Well, the big thing there is that he was saying that he's roasting up their first order for Walmart now. And that was a bit ago. And he's still talking about that. So it's like it doesn't end. He's constantly talking about how he's roasting up the order for Walmart. Maybe he's going to be at Walmart. Maybe not. But he's talking about it like he's the one doing it. He's not doing it. Like, he's not doing it at all. I might go to his original video soon.
Showing up, I have you idiots on security cameras, showing up and harassing some random employee of a neighboring business. Is that normal? How did you think that was going to go?
Yeah, I don't believe the Walmart thing is happening.
It's just the dumbest, most, like, the biggest problem is the hypocrisy, to be honest with you. These people don't care about transparency. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about...
Dude, this guy is sitting in his fucking car. He's driving around in his big, old, unk man, I'm middle-aged and my life is falling apart car, driving around his property like a fucking prison guard, okay? While he's ranting about people who aren't presently around him as he stands in the splendor of nature. Brother, you're cooked. You're cooked, brother. Okay? The splendors of God's kingdom are all around you, and yet you choose to be annoyed by people on the internet. I'm sorry, but it's over.
Anything, they're not my customers. You know, they leave hundreds and hundreds of fake reviews on Amazon.
That Diesel, that's a lawnmower. This is not a lawnmower. This is like an ATV. This is like a closed door, like little truck. Okay? It's like a golf cart that people drive off road.
Will end up getting deleted anyway. It is, I don't know why they're like this, but I just feel like some of them are very smart, and then they could figure out like a better way to use their time.
Dude, these guys, these smart guys are spending all their free time making fun of me when they could be spending their time stacking bands. Well, you see, I could stack bands and make fun of you at the same time, so I think I might choose that.
You know, like a more productive way to use their time, but they're not actually interested in that. They're only interested, check another station here. They're only interested in trying to hurt my business and my...
What the fuck are you checking for? Nobody can walk on your private property without you blowing them away.
And my staff. So when these like failed race car truck drivers and dork anime avatar YouTubers and fake investigators from the Midwest act like they're really out there doing something.
Dude, you're so fucking cooked. When these guys who are not real anime are insulting me. God help him when the real anime comes for him.
They're not hurting me at all.
The insert too mad literally driving joke.
They do something stupid, I just turned it into more sales. But what they're doing is they're harassing people that have nothing to do with me. I mean, like just some random employee at a neighboring business.
I would like to imagine the race car guy as a figment of his imagination, actually. So
had some fat loser like grilling him about
let's not glass houses this, buddy. All right. I don't think Mr. Fat Loser over here is in any position to be talking about fat losers. Isn't this a much funnier video if you're like, who's this quartering guy, and then it's just a whole video about him talking about random strangers from the internet, and you have no context, and so your only answer is he must be imagining them.
You know, like that's what these people are doing. That's what these dork YouTubers are promoting. And it really doesn't affect me at all. It affects people who don't even know me. People who just have an account number. They don't know anything about me, anything about my YouTube videos, anything about anything. They don't know anything about it. And it's funny because obviously, as you figured out by now, this video is bait for those idiots who are
An
just
account number. If you engage with them and you're like, I'm actually baiting you. I'm playing a 4D chess game, and then you have no follow-up for it, which I know you don't. You just lost. Like, you're just losing is what you're doing. Right? And I love how his argument is like, guys, you're not affecting me, the quartering, rich man. You're affecting my employees. You're affecting this little guy. Which is such a, like, unpacking that is just like a whole...
Camelot
You know, it's a
331
lot.
is the race car driver referenced.
Oh, okay. All right. You know, I look, Jeremy, I don't have my dialectical materialism glasses on today, so I'm not getting into the weeds about this, but I do think it is very funny that you're using your employees as a shield against haters on the internet.
helping me monetize this channel. Thanks to them, this channel will be monetized in only 2 weeks because they are furiously trying to get some sort of information or get some sort of gotcha. Thanks for your help, morons. Keep tuning in. Here's the other big thing, the other big gotcha that, you know, failed race car drivers and things like that, you know, they think that they really got me. So there's a shipping label.
You know, this guy's really upset because he wanted to be a race car driver, and he's mad that the other guy failed at being one.
That was shown, okay? And so everyone thought, wow, this confirms that his coffee's drop shipped, which, by the way, if it was, no big deal. But I have made it a point to say it isn't, because it isn't. If it was, I'd be making a lot more money. If it was, I would have made quadruple what I
Look, man, you're at the prices you're selling this coffee at, you're already making a big fucking hunk of change if people are buying like that, okay?
have now. If it was, I wouldn't have to pay staff to pack orders. Like, we did our own fulfillment out of Arizona with my business partner.
This is just white labeling, brother. Why don't you just call it what it is?
Staff to fill our orders. We paid for customer service. We're not drop ship, right? So that's one of the dumbest labels that have stuck around. But last week, these morons found a shipping label and they thought, ooh,
I understand why people are confused about the difference between drop shipping and white labels. I get it. But this is exactly the kind of, like, beat around the bush Andy type behavior that continues to exacerbate that. All right? Like, it doesn't help at all.
got them. It's my biggest lie exposed right here. Okay. Ooh, they got me. Well, the fact of the matter is, all they found was a shipping label from the company that I use to put my coffee into K-Cups. That's it. I roast 900 pounds at a time for a specific run. I send it to somebody who has a professional K-Cup machine that puts it in the K-Cup and labels it and puts the boxes all together. That's it. That's the big exposed. I hope it was worth it, dorks. Not my regular viewers, but the people that thought it was a big exposed thing. Yes, I pay somebody to put...
But I thought you were buying the K-Cup machine yourself. Wasn't that the whole big thing? Isn't that where that becomes like a more salacious little grab that you never followed through on that? Right? Jeremy, K-Cups are not a right-wing thing. Actually, I'm going to get a little woke here. But if I had to place a right-wing label on any coffee-related activity, a K-Cup would definitely be it. The only thing more right-wing than a K-Cup is like those Nestle Nespresso pods with the DRM built in. Okay? Yeah. Not to get a little woke, but they're bad for the environment. And also they make really bad coffee, so don't use a K-Cup because it makes bad coffee. So just don't do it. Okay? If you like drinking coffee that sucks, yeah, go ahead. Drink from a K-Cup. Hold on, let me go back. I feel like I forgot.
All they found was right here. Okay. Ooh, they got me. Well, the fact of the matter is, all they found was a shipping label from the company that I use to put my coffee into K-Cups. That's it. I roast 900 pounds at a time.
So you roast 900 pounds of coffee at a time. So theoretically, when I buy coffee from you, it could be sitting there for like a really long time. So if I buy ground coffee from you from one of your runs, there's a possibility that what I'm buying is like a year old or more. I generally like I don't know, man. I don't really like having coffee that old. Usually it's fine up to like 3 years, but like ground coffee goes bad first. It goes stale first. So if you are producing that much and then I get the last bits of one order, it might be there for a year. I don't want year-old ground coffee. I usually buy whole bean because it lasts longer. Okay, and I could store it in my vacuum sealed container for like 3 years. But like, I don't want that. It just I find it befuddling to do such a large quantity.
For a specific run, I send it to somebody who has a professional K-Cup machine that puts it in the K-Cup and labels it and puts the boxes all together. That's it. That's the big exposed. I hope it was worth it, dorks. Not my regular viewers, but the people that thought it was a big exposed thing. Yes, I pay somebody to put
Dump the K-Cup in your mouth, chase with hot water. Yeah, put custom shit into reusable K-Cups. Yes, absolutely. Because these cups are reusable. You can put Mana Potion coffee in your Keurig machine. Oh my god, so true. The real issue with the way that a K-Cup brews a cup of coffee is that the water comes down and it basically creates a... So like when you put the K-Cup in, it makes a little pop, right? And then the water gets shot through that hole, right? And then the coffee comes out the bottom from the hot water going in through the top. And what happens, and I'm just repeating what James Hoffman has said, so this is from a much more knowledgeable coffee expert than myself. But if you've never watched James Hoffman, you absolutely should, because he's an amazing. First of all, the coffee he roasts is amazing. Second of all, he's a world-renowned barista. Okay, but it creates a channel, and what happens is that all the coffee around a channel gets soaked and saturated with water, and so you end up getting a watered-down, hollow cup of coffee because it just created a hole where the water comes through.
coffee into K-Cups. Now people say, but you were raising money to put your own
So the reason the K-Cup machine is so disputed is because he purchased a saltwater aquarium, roughly the same price as his fucking K-Cup machine. Interesting.
K-Cup machine together. You were going to get your equipment.
If I blow into the machine, will pressure rise? No. I was debating whether or not I turned that into a dirty joke or not, and I decided not to. But no.
You're right. We did raise money for that. And we were going to buy a K-Cup machine. There's basically only one manufacturer, maybe two, and they both come out of China. I talked to the guys at Black Rifle, specifically, about buying one of their old K-Cup machines. I talked to other people I won't name about what they did for K-Cup production. And the fact of the matter is, the machine itself, the cost, was only a small part of it. Turns out, once we got further down the process, you have to pay somebody to come from the machine's manufacturer, train your team, and then if it breaks, you have to know how to fix it. And
yeah, no shit. No shit. Coffee roasters know how to fix their roaster. I don't... What? How is this guy operated a coffee company? Even me, even though I don't fucking roast the beans, I know that part of the job of being a roaster is knowing how to maintain and upkeep your own equipment. That's part of the job. What?
we just decided, well, we don't really have the volume.
And also, I love how he's like, well, I didn't want to buy one from China. First of all, nobody's making them here. Not even the Keurig company is making them here. Nobody fucking makes them here. People don't manufacture here. Manufacturing is never coming back here. All right? We will gut middle America with data centers and kill everyone in America before we start fucking manufacturing here. It's not going to happen. What do you mean you're going to buy an American-made K-Cup machine, you fucking idiot? It's never going to happen. And you're not buying it from China by buying an old one from someone else.
To justify spending $200,000, like buying the machine and then only running K-Cups for us. So then I went to my partners and I said, hey, why don't we sell K-Cup services, to other people? Again, all things that a dropship coffee company could never do, by the way. And so that's something we've been exploring. But in the meantime, It just didn't make financial sense after we got all the extra costs after the machine. So it was the machine, then like some food grade air compressor machine, and then training. Then if it breaks, who knows how you fix it. And
Which is why you either train someone to know how to fix it, or train many people to know how to fix it, or you work with the provider that provides the equipment. Not that like you should be able to fix your own K-Cup machine. You know, I don't think we want to live in a John Deere world for our coffee machines.
we're still strongly considering adding the K-Cup machine to our arsenal and then selling that service to other people, other YouTubers, for example, to put
Who the fuck is doing that? Who the fuck is selling their coffee? Who the fuck is doing that? Who the fuck is doing that? I want to know. Okay, is it just that one dumb lady who is doing that incredibly expensive shit? Because I don't see it.
coffee and K-Cups because that costs a few bucks every time you do it. But that was it. And in exchange for that shipping label, these people called and harassed a nice family-run business for days. They called me the next day, like, what's going on? These are the same people that are standing on the, I am against life ruination. I'm against all this stuff. They aren't. They say they are, but they aren't. They're happy to run with defamatory statements like some of these idiot YouTubers because it gets them clicks. And that's okay. Good for you. Now, at some point, the issue is they know it's not worth it for me. Like when you're a failed race car truck driver or your YouTube channel is basically dead, you know it's not worth it for me to file some sort of law.
Jeremy, why would they call you? Because he was apparently this other company was getting harassed, I guess, which is possible. I'm not going to say that didn't happen. Probably did. They were probably being like, do you know who this guy is? Do you really want to be working with him? Because I don't know if a lot of the normies that work with Jeremy know who Jeremy is. Okay? Because if I polled like 100 people, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Lawsuit against you for defamation. But at some point it's going to become worth it because I have all of this stuff lined up, right? I can tie in direct lines from these statements from certain commentators to real world harassment to their fake reviews on Amazon. Like this would not go well for them. It's just not worth it. It's better to just say pop.
Yeah, it's interesting for Jeremy to talk about people trying to get clicks. I know. I gotta be honest, man. It's like, I was thinking about this recently because I saw that TikTok where this like lady was trying to do like the on the street interviews, but she was like a fucking chud, and she was like walking up to this I think it was a chick in a hijab, and she had her nails did, and she was like, what do you think about violence in America right now? And the girl was like, oh, you mean Charlie Kirk? She's like, and she did that, and she's like, how could you do that? That's so offensive. It's like, and the girl's like, he deserved it. And it's like, and it's like, you know, man, it's just, Jeremy, you worked up a lot of karmic debt. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, I'm not saying that there's some cosmic energy in the universe. I'm just saying that a guy who's like, despite making up 10% of the population, you being that guy, you doing that, and you now having to deal with the consequences of your behavior, I don't really have a lot of you know, shits to give. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm sorry. You know, obviously you shouldn't harass these normal people. Absolutely. You shouldn't go harassing people. I wouldn't want my audience doing that myself, you know? But it's like, you know, you sow political discord. You erode. I'm not saying that Jeremy is effective. In fact, I think he's a small fish in a much larger grifter pond. But it's like, you participate in the erosion of democracy by acting a fool about fucking media, and then you expect strangers on the internet to respect you, and it's just like, but all you did was sow discontent and malice. Why are you surprised that the people don't like you? You weren't trying to build like a welcoming place, you know? I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know shit can get, like, crazy here in this community, and there's been plenty of times where it's definitely gone beyond the pale, and it's been, like, even personally, just, like, a miserable experience. But, like, generally speaking, all things considered, despite a few very colorful comedic examples, it's really not that bad, and everybody's very kind, you know? Like, there's no hate for thy fellow man here, regardless of the walk of life of which he performs, you know? And it's not even like because of his political opinions, because you could be right-wing and watch me. I don't imagine you would be if you are, but I'm certain that there are plenty of you in the audience that are like that, because it's commentary content, and a lot of commentary tends to have it's more centrist. But it's just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what he expected. It's not like he developed a kind audience. For all it's worth, I think my audience is pretty great. But I'm not surprised that Jeremy is reaping what he sowed. I think I have reaped what I sowed, okay? I've talked too much about gooning, and it caused a myriad of gooning related or tangentially related incidents. All right? And I can eat that crow. Okay? I can mea culpa that. I'm still awake, by the way. But yeah, it's like you collect that kind of audience, and then that's what happens, you know? So I like, why is he surprised that there's like an anti-audience of his that's like constantly trying to figure out everything about him? He does that with his videos, you know? Diesel in his own gooning hell. Yeah, he reaps. I'm not talking about yours, Liv, okay? There's like 4 other people who gooned after you, all right? You can live freely. The cross is done. You can put it down. Stop walking with it. There were 4? Yeah, like 4, give or take.
Positive. And not so, these people were never my customers in the first place. So to summarize, we're not ship coffee.
4 is a lot, all right? 4 is a lot. 4 is enough for a lifetime. You know how funny it is to tell, like, I told dude, I told a friend of the channel, Brittany, some of the shit that's happened here, and she's like, wow, people pay for this? I'm like, yep. I mean, they came in 2s, although most people came alone. Many such cases.
We never were. In fact, we did dropship coffee for other people, which you couldn't do if you were a dropshipper, okay? I have partners that make my bags. I have partners that make my K-cups. I have partners that make my coffee, just like any normal business would run. You think an electrician makes all the wire he uses by himself? No, of course not, right? This business continues to grow, and I think that bothers people, but that's okay. Like, I want better for them. I want them to exist, but there's literally nothing there. We roast our coffee with a partner. We send it to get put into K-cups because owning our own K-cup machine was cost prohibitive at the time. Now, once we're into Walmart, then we're going to do it. Then it'll be easy. We'll have the money and the volume. It's really a volume thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we run our coffee business just like any.
He sounds too sassy about the coffee. That's bold. That's very bold, considering I'm extremely sassy. To out sass a metrosexual straight man. His bisexualness insists upon itself. By the way, you can do second and third string dropshipping. It's called an MLM.
Any other coffee business you see on the shelves, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing there. These people are so stupid and so angry that they are either really stupid, which is very likely, or they are really dishonest. Some of these people are not stupid, and they purposely say things they know.
Jeremy has many partners, partners, okay? Why do you think he has all that land, all right? They're not walking dogs, is all I'm saying, all right? You don't curb your dog on the quartering estate, all right?
True, because it's salacious and it gets them clicks and they get to monetize the hate against me. That's okay, but everybody knows that you're a hypocrite. Everybody knows that you're a loser. And when you do
Well, that is such a dono sound you just gave someone.
long 2-hour stream reaction to this video, there's going to be a lot of people in your audience that see that too. So I'm looking forward to these people reacting to this video because, again, I have nothing to hide. My business runs just like any other business. And it's almost like, I don't know if these people are like,
Dude, again, and this is another thing where, like, you know, the whole go woke, go broke thing, where they'd be like, it's so funny because this is literally the thing that they would be engaging in. I know that this is just the thing that politics be doing to people, right? So I know both sides have done it, right? Sorry, I'm gonna fence it Andy that one, but like, you know, you can't be like, go woke, go broke. Oh, interesting how they have pride flag coffee. Interesting how they do this or that or blah, 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 blah. And that's why they don't make money, right? To do all that and then get annoyed when people do it to you, why the fuck is he surprised? Why the fuck is he surprised?
Candace Owens level stupid, but they're living in this alternate quartering universe where my business is failing, which it isn't, having record month after record month.
But the funny thing is, I've started to notice their views have dropped by half. Well, I think a lot of people are just tired of it. Like, it's just boring now. It's like, okay, we did the whole anti-SJW to, like, anti-woke
At Tusky
pipeline
became a
thing,
member.
you know?
At Tusky celebrates 21 months of membership. I don't trust Adams, they legit make up everything.
Thank you. Right? But it's like they do all these things, and it's like, dude, I don't care anymore. Okay? I watched He-Man before I did this stream today, and I was thinking about how people said that He-Man was going to be woke because of the he-him joke, because Adam, who is He-Man, works in HR, and his name tag says Adam Glenn, he, him. It's a joke. It is a visual gag. And everything about Adam working in HR is a joke. Okay? And also it's good characterization because it's all about how, like, Adam isn't He-Man because he is strong. He's He-Man because he is kind. Sorry, I guess I'm spoiling He-Man for you, but none of you saw it anyway. But that's why he's He-Man, right? Is because he's a good listener and he's understanding and he's kind. But it's played as a joke because they make him do all the kumbaya dumb bullshit that offices make you do when you're in HR. Right? But I was just thinking about how people were being mad about He-Man and, like, saying all of these things would happen in He-Man before the movie came out. Because they were going to be like, oh, He-Man's just going to be a fucking loser and he's going to get saved by, like, She-Ra and blah, 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 blah. But, like, it's like a weirdly gay comedy and probably one of the best performances Jared Leto has done in a very long time. I'm super serious. But yeah, I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about the Odyssey discourse, because I guess the Critical Drinker subreddit was like being like, oh, the Rotten Tomatoes reviews are fake. Oh, the numbers that are coming out about this movie is actually a lie from the woke media. And then it's like the movie keeps doing numbers and numbers and numbers and numbers and numbers, and it's like, even a Critical Drinker said he liked it. You know, so a lot of people had to, like, hang up their hats and go, guess I overextended. Most of them weren't so aware, you know. But it's like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? None of this stuff matters, bro. There's much more important things. All right? Can't we all agree that there's like a elite class of billionaire pedophiles that are trying to control the world? Like, goddamn. Goddamn, my fucking gas is expensive, my food is expensive, and every time I drive to the grocery store, I pass by 5 to 6 surveillance cameras that are tracking me the entire way. You want to talk about those things instead? I think I'd much rather talk about those.
My YouTube channel is dying. It's the dead of summer and probably the slowest time in politics that we've seen in a long time. Like, everything that is levied has a perfectly reasonable explanation, but in the quartering extended universe, truth does not live. And they'll call this a crash out or whatever. It's not. I'm monetizing them.
There's more important things in life, like Frank Ocean and how he still refuses to make new songs. Yeah. Well, keep waiting.
They're tuning into this, hoping to get another gotcha. There just isn't. There's nothing there. They wish there was something there, but there's nothing there. And the hilarious part about all of it is that this will do nothing to dispel the defamatory statements or the libelous statements. It will do nothing to curb these morons harassing employees at a coffee roastery. It will do nothing to stop these people from harassing.
Yeah. Slowest time in politics, brother. It's the summer before midterms. Politics is popping. You just suck, Jeremy. Because it's not about those things. It's never been about those things. It's not about what people can actually do. It's not that. All right?
People at my packaging facility that I use because they're not good people. They want you to think that they are operating on like truth and righteousness and that they're really going to get somebody who's been getting over on you. There isn't a single one of my customers that thinks I have an entire roasting facility.
The coffee tirade brought up all my trauma from being an intelligentsia barista in my early 20s. What the fuck does that mean? Were you like a barista at like a classy coffee house or something? Like, what? That is outrageous. That is a very interesting word to use.
Sitting in my garage. They're caping for people that don't exist and have never existed. It's one of the weirdest, most pathetic, sad. Like, you want to go at my political opinions, you want to go at...
You know, the thing, and really the problem, I think, for Jeremy is how uncharismatic he is, I think, you know. Say what you will about our president. He's a great orator. Orator? He's a great orator. I forget where I heard this. I think it was a podcast. But somebody was like, Trump sounds like Homer. Not like Homer Simpson, but like Homer from the Odyssey. Keeping the Odyssey thing going, right? Because it's like swift-footed Achilles, the monster blah blah blah, the clever Odysseus. Oh, it's a YouTuber. Fuck, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank on her name. I watched a video where she was talking about reading. Yeah, I'm sure that narrows it down. But, you know, it's like, Gami Mam Dami. Or like he's talking about running for another term at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Not a funny joke, by the way, if that was a joke. But he knows how to clip, okay? He's a really good clip farmer, is what I'm saying, all right? He's good at speaking, and he's charismatic in that way. I'm not saying that he's charismatic as a compliment. I'm saying it derogatorily, but, like, he is. He's a good clipper, yeah. He's a good clipper. He's clip maxing. It's the name of the company. They invented douchey hipster baristas. Ah, okay. Yeah.
Things I flip-flopped on. You want to go after things that, like, you know, I'm wrong about. That's all reasonable, fair game stuff.
I'll remember. I'll figure out the YouTuber right now. All right. If you guys are, you know what, you fucks. Hold on. She did a video recently on why AI, like super AI, is never going to happen. Hold on, I need to find it now because now it's driving me nuts. Hold on. Here we go. Oh my god. I knew she was like a sub 100k YouTuber, so that's why I was like desperate to find her. Okay, her name's Hazel Thayer, by the way. Very, very well-spoken lady. Super interesting videos. And she's like also not like smug or mean about it, which I think is like a big thing. Because I think people who make this kind of content can sometimes come off like a smug asshole. So Hazel is very good at just being able to talk about these things. Speaking of women on the internet talking about things, Riley is still bleeding subs almost every day. I hope she gets the help she needs or something. But yeah, she has a lot of interesting videos. I highly recommend. Highly recommend.
But the idea that like these people are having any real effect on our business is hilarious. They really, 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 really want it to be. When you guys do this stuff, my partners laugh at you. These same people, by the way, you know, oh, life ruination's bad. Somebody got deplatformed, that's bad. They tried to get me deplatformed for Rumble. I have all the emails, of course. These same people, oh, going after sponsors of that. I have their emails to my sponsors. They went after
You have your dude, he's got emails. He's got all the emails. He's got the coffee brand coffee files.
every single one of my sponsors, and I did lose a couple. I've replaced them since, but I did lose some. All because these same people who have spent the last 4 months building up this quartering extended universe where they're the righteous ones are actually the villains in this story. They're very, very sad.
This is very corny. It is very corny to make the heroes and villains. I am the unsung hero of my story. Hey man, I don't know if you've read a book ever, but we're rarely the villains of our own stories. You know what I mean? It's almost one of the follies of man that we never see the log in our eye. You know, I think that Jesus guy talked about this. So for you to say that they are actually the villains in the story is very funny. All right. God. Here we go. This is the first K-Cup video.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering. I wasn't sure.
Dude, okay. I know I sometimes slur my words or I don't enunciate well. But the amount of times with which the quartering enunciates poorly or slurs his words is outrageously high. And I get to act like the biggest annoying fucking asshole right now before I even watch the rest of this video. Because he has 2 books on here, of which he did not take the correct lessons away from, okay? And one of them is The Coddling of the American Mind by Jonathan Haidt and some other fucking guy. I forget the other fucking guy. And The Coddling of American Mind is a very interesting book. It's a very engaging book about psychology and philosophy. But it is not... Right-wingers have co-opted that book. The thesis of the book is that our knowledge learning youth, the college age and maybe older high school age, do not want to engage in Socratic teaching, where you sit around in a circle and you debate and you talk about your ideas. And that this is systemically bad for many things. You know, literacy, discourse, the ability to empathize with others, all of these things, right? And that it's not good for a healthy democracy to do that, right? Now that book came out when I was in university, in college. And we did that. We debated and we talked and we did all that. And it was usually in the liberal arts classes that all that stuff happened in. But their professors, Jonathan Haidt, teaches at NYU. And that is something they've seen. And they have been kind of working through trying to figure out how to fix that. And The Coddling of the American Mind is like a smaller sliver of the larger argument of technology is eroding us, right? Because a lot of what Jonathan Haidt's stuff has focused on has been about how, and I don't know if he views his work in its totality like this. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. The Righteous Mind by Jonathan Haidt is about basically political discourse and division. Coddling of the American Mind is about that as well. And then the most recent book that he put out, I forget the name of it, which is I know I've read this book. I think I might have skimmed it. I don't think I read the whole thing. But it was about how phones are affecting teenagers' development as well as their ability to focus in class, which is impacting the ability for students to learn in the classroom, and that more technology in the classroom has resulted in lower performance, worse mental health, and a various assortment of other things. Those books, in their totality, the takeaway seems to be that unfettered access to technology seems to be fucking us all up, and that we probably should put some guardrails for ourselves so that way we don't become drooling, mind-numbing idiots who are victims to the algorithm and will believe whatever the algorithm puts out. Anxious generation, thank you. Anxious generation, yes. So it's all very interesting work, and it all kind of stems around that and how it impacts academia and development. What it is not about is about the left being soy and not wanting to have discussions. It is not that, okay? It is a much more nuanced conversation about those things, and you know, it is not what it is on that shelf for, is what I'm saying. Okay, I actually highly doubt he read it. Is my point, is what I'm getting at here. Because when you look at Jonathan Haidt's work in its totality, it's more like he is a philosopher and psychologist who is much more worried about maintaining the effectiveness of democracy and the development of youth, rather than he is about like being able to say slurs in public. You know what I mean? And the other book on there is 48 Laws of Power. And I gotta be honest, I think 48 Laws of Power might be one of the most misrepresented books that I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay? I don't know who's read 48 Laws of Power, but if you read it and you're familiar with Robert Greene, the author of that book and The Art of Seduction, you think it is going to be the Chud Manifesto. Those books are not that, okay? I would actually argue, and 48 Laws of Power is fucking huge, but I would argue it is the inverse Machiavelli book, right? So if you're an idiot and you read 48 Laws of Power, you're like, here's all the ways that I can manipulate people and be a piece of shit, right? Like, you could do that. You could totally take that away from the book. But the book opens up, and Robert Greene is very tongue-in-cheek about it. But you're not really supposed to do that. That's not the takeaway. The takeaway is, these are the ways with which shitty people can manipulate others. I am going to tell you and give historical examples of the times where these things happened, so you know better and are able to better combat these things in the future, right? Because when you listen to his interviews, he's not saying go around and be a piece of shit, all right? He's not saying that. And it's the same thing for The Art of Seduction, where it's more about, like, these are the ways and the archetypes with which people act as seducers and the historical counterparts to these types of seducers. And he kind of, like, frames it in this romantic context, but the expectation is that it could also be in non-romantic context or business context or any of these other things, right? But yeah, it's if you read 48 Laws of Power and you go, I'm gonna be, you know, Don Draper. I'm gonna be fucking Patrick Bateman, you know. 48 Laws of Power is definitely more cautionary. The Art of Seduction is less cautionary, but it is more like these are the types, and you know, this kind of person, if you come across them, this could be what happens, right? So if you know, they talk about a rake, and I'm not talking about like the creepypasta. I'm talking about a rakish man who kind of like comes in and, you know, you fuck and he's gone the next day and you never see him again, right? He kind of like lays out what that kind of guy is, and what guy or girl. He gives examples for both usually, and then how each kind of operates and how they operate differently depending on their gender, which is, it's a really interesting book. And there's some amazing historical accounts of guys like Casanova or Don Juan and all of this stuff. So they're really good books. If you haven't read them, I think you should read both of them. They're really good. They're really interesting. But yeah, I don't think he's read either of those. I do not judge those who read 48 Laws of Power. I judge the man who put 48 Laws of Power on his trophy shelf for his live stream and puts it in his dating profile on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Absolutely. Didn't you talk about this book before? Yes. Yes, I've talked about this book before.
Sure, I was going to go public about this, but it appears I have to.
Okay. When we talk about performative reading, this guy's shelf is performative, you know?
Now, many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say, hey, I've got my Mega Mixology cookbook to help fund.
Not to be that guy, but I've never got my Mega Mixology cookbook.
The new studio.
I don't judge people who read 48 Laws of Power. I judge people who don't read Memoirs of a Geisha. After like a year, it was gifted, but I don't know. I'm just a dude. To clarify for any of you that didn't get that obviousness, Kat bought me Memoirs of a Geisha, and I haven't read it, and I'm looking for where it is on my shelf right now, and I do not see where it is. I might have moved it. I don't think I'm reading anything right now. Maybe. I don't know. I'm on my XTE ink. I'm reading Fight Club, like in between stuff. Fight Club is a really good read, by the way. Holy shit. Fight Club is such a good read. It's so, if you don't like reading books, fellas, if you don't like reading books, read Fight Club. You're gonna read it.
Obviously, it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. Well, the coffee company has also been expanding to take on Amazon.
Diesel, you should do a book club. I got too many, you know, much like the quartering said, I got a lot of irons in the fire. I'm kind of busy. Diesel, did you fucking lose the book? Guys, I have really bad ADHD, okay? It's probably on my other bookshelf. I have 2 bookshelves.
Try and compete more with bigger names, and to hopefully by the end of the year.
I was looking for a book that I could read performatively in public, so perhaps Memoirs of a Geisha is good for that.
The grocery shelves. And for the past 3 years, I've prided Coffee Brand Coffee on remaining completely apolitical. And that's literally why I called it that.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like he's always talking about how his coffee isn't selling. His ADHD made the book disappear. I wish it wasn't a joke, but it legitimately is like that. I lost the cover to my remote recently, and I haven't been able to find it. And I don't know where I put it, because I remember taking it out and rubbing the batteries because they weren't working to get some extra juice out of the batteries. And then I just lost the back, and I don't know where it is.
Some people think the name is goofy. I get that, but it would have been easier for me to sell Liberal Tears coffee or something like that. But I want my coffee to be on coffee shelves one day.
No, I like, okay, so here's how, okay, look, every time a business is like, we're apolitical, we don't want your politics, we want your money. That is a dog whistle, okay? If you're truly not based in politics as a coffee company, just don't advertise politically. Okay.
difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends. We hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real coffee.
He's saying, he's wording it as if he's doing it, or like he's there, or he has employees there, right? But then in his more recent video, he's talking about how there's a partner that does it. So he's just lying in this original video. This is just, so he's just lying.
Company. And I made that investment with the plan of having something that could grow. Well, we've never been at our most vulnerable, but right now we're stocking up for Mother's Day, which is an important time of year for us because we do so well for Mother's Day gift boxes. And we're trying to compete on Amazon. And I'm trying to build a new office. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max. It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my
I gotta be honest. When I worked full-time as a YouTuber, even when I was a teacher, I was not working as hard as I'm working now. Retail fucking sucks. All right, it fucking sucks. But this guy, I don't know how much value he's providing to shareholders, but like I feel like he could be providing more. It takes as much time as he recorded this video for to make a video like that. Okay, this 11-minute video took him 11 minutes to make and put out. He didn't do any editing on it.
Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff.
I'm selling my Nintendo collection.
It's because I believe in the things that I'm doing. But now we hit a roadblock that I need to try and reach out and give you an understanding of why.
I have a love-hate relationship with retail. I've met a lot of interesting people doing it, and I enjoy it. And my retail experience is obviously not the normal retail experience, but working late has probably been the worst thing for my health. I wish I did not commute 45 minutes. It is unironically probably been the worst thing for my health. It is already past my bedtime because of that. But I'm going to keep streaming until I finish this.
I could use some help. I can't confirm this for sure, but right now with Coffee Brand Coffee, we are basically completely vertically integrated. We roast our stuff, we pack our stuff.
Wait a second,
we
what?
print our own bag.
You're saying that you're vertically integrated? But you wouldn't be vertically integrated if you're white labeling and you're outsourcing the roasting process to a partner. So that's just wrong. Because vertically integrated means Coffee Brand Coffee does everything from top to bottom. When did this video go out? A year ago.
Things like that. The only thing that we were reliant on anyone else for was some of the boxes for our K-Cups and some of the procedures around that. It's our coffee, but we had someone else helping, put these boxes together so we could do all that. Well, apparently that person, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it, saw my YouTube channel and didn't like my politics. And while we have a 20,000 K-Cup order, basically decided to tell us, to pound sand, or I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back.
Damn, well, not surprising.
This is absolutely crippling. I'm already so overextended with Coffee Brand Coffee. I feel like they knew this was the time that they could really cause maximum damage.
I feel like I've reacted to this before. I think I might have. Because this whole, this is like a weird, plea for, please buy my coffee. I'm overextended. I was left out to dry by a partner who didn't like my politics. Also, I see a copy of Guns, Germs, and Steel in the corner there. You see it? You see the copy of Guns, Germs, and Steel down there? Listen, man. A lot of people have a lot to say about that book. The argument writes itself. I don't even need to say anymore.
What is the solution? Well, it's to buy about $80,000 in equipment. And
what is that? I'm afraid it's a not very good history book.
I didn't know what else to do. I can't miss Mother's Day. It's our biggest sale of the year. And so I said, okay, fine, put it on my credit card. We're going to just figure it out. And that's a lot of dimp to put on
there's zero proof the crisis was woke related. Yeah.
Credit card. And but we're gonna save Mother's Day, and we're going
Guns, Germs, and Steel is that book about the militarization of Osmosis Jones.
to bring this last piece of the puzzle in-house. We're even getting a machine to make our own coffee scrub for the ladies and guys out there that want to, you know, do it for skincare. But anyway, to help pay for it, we've done this one other time before. And what I did was I put together this very cool Founders Vault Pack. There's only 1,000 of them, and 200 of them are already gone from my live stream earlier today.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It includes
Did anybody ever get any of these?
freeze-dried strawberries, which are not available anywhere else and will never be available.
Freeze-dried strawberries. Well, I know he didn't freeze-dry the strawberries and put them in that fuck-ass bag.
As far as I'm planning anywhere else. You will also be the very first person to get our exclusive spring flavors, tangerine, which trust me is delicious, and cherry cordial, which is also really good. You also get a founder's coin and a signed, numbered thank you card from me specifically. I'm be signing them every night for the next 2 weeks. Plus, you get a free gift. If
I guarantee you, if I purchased this, I would have never gotten it.
sell out of these, we can afford the machine, and this can never happen again. Many people have probably noticed, hey, we've been out of stock on stuff and things are running behind. It's because of this one hiccup. But if I can convince you to give our coffee a try, which I tell you all the time, I think is the best out there. If you try our spring flavors, you're going to get it before anyone else.
This entire video is an ad, which I also probably said a year ago when I reacted to this.
You're going to absolutely love it. And you're going to help stick it to the stupid company that has screwed me over. And
Freeze-dried strawberries. New vocal stim unlocked. Did you guys see... I constantly reference different tweets. Did you guys see the Puerto Rican Michael Jackson impersonator? Puerto Rican Michael Jackson impersonator.
keep me out of, hopefully out of debtor's jail or whatever. And if you don't like coffee, I still have my Mega Mixology cookbook, which I'll link in the description down.
This fucking stupid fucking book, bro. This fucking stupid book. This book.
Below. It's a pre-order that will be shipping around the end of April. It's hilarious. We already have almost 50 recipes done. They're like different memes of like cocktails, mocktails, coffee, tea drinks.
Which book did you not get again? The tailgating one? The tailgate book?
Summer drinks, fall drinks, but it's all got like, you know, our sense
Dude, a spiral bound book is fucking foul, okay?
of humor, and the tailgates for Trump I put back on sale.
Yeah, tailgates for Trump I never got.
To try and put money together. I just know, and if you don't like flavored coffee, we have tea, we have regular coffee. Our blueberry cobbler is really good. Our silky ultra dark roast is really good. Our 004 is good. Our Ethiopian's good. We have something for you, and so I'm hoping today you'll give Coffee Brand Coffee a chance.
I think the real issue with Coffee Brand Coffee is all the YouTuber marketing. Like obviously like our coffee relies on some YouTuber marketing, that being me and me alone. But really, the way that we've developed like an audience that buys our coffee regularly is by putting in the work and going to conventions and like going to places where people are looking to spend money, and they become like second time buyers, third time buyers. Like, of course you guys do, right? But like a lot of people, a lot of it was done by us getting on the ground floor and doing word of mouth and doing marketing that's a lot more intensive.
Or you'll pick up a cookbook to help me get out in front of this a little bit. I know once we get this equipment in the office.
Yeah, if you don't like my coffee, buy my quarterly report manual that talks about AOC and Pete Buttigieg's asses a lot.
There's nothing stopping Coffee Brand Coffee from being in the grocery stores, maybe as soon as the end of this year, hopefully by next year, and in convenience
stores
and things like that.
Not happened yet. I could totally see Coffee Brand Coffee being in stores because it has that like dumb minimalist kind of look that a lot of people purchase. But then in the same breath, it also suffers from like a lack of being different.
Are at an inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. You know, I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt. I'm just being dead serious.
You got $300,000 in debt right now? Wow.
Stocked up for Mother's Day. Now I got to buy this machine I wasn't planning on buying.
Oh, that's crazy. The machine you never purchased?
And but if we come out the other side of this, we will be fully stocked on Amazon. We'll be fully stocked on our website. We'll be fully vertically integrated. So we'll be able to lower prices and lower costs. We are doing so much. We handle our
I would love to know whether or not his prices have lowered from the last time I looked at them. This entire thing has just been an ad that I've been forced to stare at. Fucking fuck ass, ugly ass, fucking bags. Oh god. Let's see. Let's look at the coffee. $18. $18 for the fucking $18, dude. A lot of the flavored version, $20, $20. It's expensive. $20 for flavored coffee? Does Bones cost that much? I would imagine they do. He's kind of competing with them. It's kind of hard to compete with the company that makes fucking Mandalorian and Grogu coffee. Bro, I could get my Grogu coffee mug. Get a 12-ounce bag. $20 for the fucking Mojave Mocha? God damn. This shit's expensive and it tastes weird. Their marketing is much better though. The marketing for Bones Coffee is so much sexier. The whole everything about it is a lot sexier. Isn't this fun? Doesn't this look more fun? Like this looks more fun, right? Like you're buying like a little bit of like a gothy inspired kind of alternative, coffee. All right, and there's a fucking pirate on the back. $25, by the way. Holy shit, $25. What the fuck? But you're definitely paying for the experience. Yeah, you're paying for the experience here. 100% you're paying for the experience. And they know that they have a really good style too. Like they have this you know what this is? It's like a nouveau heritage style that it has. And then like this kind of like it's invoking that old heritage is a lot better for a coffee brand than the whole like quiet minimalist Bauhaus thing, Like I feel like that's a difficult sell these days because I feel like a lot of it is that. And these new bags are definitely better. Like these flavored bags, but like the original, not really. Not really. The logo is like meh. There's a lot of flavored roast too. But it's not as fun. It's not as fun or inviting. It's a little boring, a little sad, I think that's really the big issue. Even outside of whatever you could say about coffee brand coffee, the real indictment that you could throw against it is that it's boring, pretty much. Yeah, people buy it based on vibes. They're buying it for the experience. Yeah, like I had said earlier. So you're buying it for the experience.
Customer service, by the way. Maggie works full-time covering the customer service for our company. I take this seriously because I love this company. And, I don't know why this guy did this, why this is happening now.
Even the reviews are fucking heartless. Yeah, this is a good time to bring up the reviews. Thanks for that delicious segue. And this is also something I've covered on stream before. I'm reheating nachos this stream, let's be real. But this is my favorite flavor, and my family and I got an extra one, so I could give it as a gift. That's from Robert W. Joshua G. Not as good as their flavored offerings, but still good for simple decaf. Smooth, and you can tell they use good beans. I gotta be honest, most people don't know. And then Joshua's review is on here 3 fucking times, bro. We got Joshua over here reviewing the decaffeinated, the strawberries and cream, the fucking blueberry cobbler. He's also reviewing. Valentino reviewed too as well. They recently did a rebrand for some of their flavored ones because the flavored bags used to look like that, where there was just kind of nothing going on. And they're like plastic bags too. It's very strange. Bro, Wayne put his picture for everyone to see. Lisa's on here twice. Lisa H. Love anything with cream in it. Yeah, that's what I That's what I said to your mom.
At Cobalt_64 became a member. At Cobalt_64 celebrates 8 months of membership. Diesel is late, you should go to sleep.
No,
Night
no,
night.
I can stay up as long as I want. That is a black man, okay? Absolutely love this company and the guy who runs it. Great coffee, highly recommend. Jason reviewed this twice, dude. It's the same picture in both images. He reviewed it twice. God, let me look at some of the other. Is there a review section on here? I feel like there was and I passed by it. Oh, it's like a review carousel now. Great product. Absolutely love the taste and smell. No gimmicks. This is a stock image. At Coffee Brand Coffee, our head coffee roasters have mastered the art of unlocking flavors hidden in our beans. Each batch is custom crafted and curated to accompany unique flavor profiles. This means nothing. This means nothing. This means absolutely nothing. Obviously, it's marketing copy, but you know. Here's a happy customers page. Check out some of these reviews. The only coffee that my mother will drink. She got so excited about the 5-pound bag I bought and it arrived. Dude, unless you drink like fucking 4 cups a day, why are you doing the... Why are you doing the 5-pound bag? That's an insane amount of coffee. It's an insane amount of coffee. Dude, Joel didn't get his coffee. I haven't received my order. It's been 20 days. Very disappointed. I took a picture of me holding the product as an email asking me to leave a review. God, that's funny. Dude, they've really done made Chud coffee, dude. Chud, first clean your coffee machine. What the fuck is going on here, dude? This Phillips coffee machine. Where is this? Is this in a garage? Why is it so dirty? What the fuck is on this coffee machine? Tastes great. What do you get? The wood shavings taste delicious. A woman with a cat. There's even a chudette out there for every chud. There's a void for every chud out there in the universe, alright, guys? Shit. What is this? Cleanest and best tasting coffee I've ever purchased. I was buying the same coffee for many years, and after giving Coffee Brand Coffee a try, I switched. So this is the pre-ground coffee, but it just looks like a... This lady just took a big picture of a bunch of pebbles. I know that's ground coffee, but it looks like a bunch of pebbles. Let's keep looking at some of these. I'm really just staring at these people's backgrounds and like engaging in their room. Okay, there's Quentin. Nothing particularly standout interesting. It looks like cat litter or asphalt. Yeah. Dude, Dr. Umez. Wait a second. Isn't that black guy who tried to start that school? Dr. Umez, right? My new Dark Souls character, Dr. Ooms, and I are loving the Dark Souls coffee bundle. The freeze-dried strawberries were amazing, but didn't last long, and that's my fault. You know how easy it is to freeze-dry stuff, dude? Dr. Umar! Dr. Umar! I want one of these to be like r/mirror for sale. Yeah. Delicious flavor this month. How can you taste it? Not to Now I'm just being a dick to these people who are just like, I'm drinking my coffee. Guys, apolitical coffee, apolitical coffee. All right. It's not surprising that like this is who is going to buy it. All right, dude. I got my Trump mug from Amazon.com. Why is he posting it with his level 1 Elden Ring build? This is a way of brewing AeroPress. However, to brew AeroPress like this with coffee brand coffee is outrageously funny. And also, the only reason anybody is buying this crap is because it's coming from the quartering. All right. He is definitely like overextended too deeply with it. Oh my god, this guy's got his whole ass fate. First of all, this guy does not look like he drinks coffee brand coffee. Oh. Oh god. This is an r/mirror for sale, absolutely. God. He just looks really sad. Is really it. Just a sidebar here. The Tailgates for Trump website, which is owned by the same LLC as his apolitical coffee. Not surprised. Not surprised. Join the movement. Register your interest today and find out how you can help Donald Trump. What? Sign up to our email list above and get Tailgates for Trump official cookbook for free. What do you mean? I paid $35 for that and it never showed up, you motherfucker. Who is this supporting? Oh, there's no, I can't buy any of the cookbooks. Support us. What's this? Tailgates for Trump is not interested in profit. We accept donations that'll help cover the cost of things like operation, hosting, marketing, etc. Wait a second. What the fuck? This isn't a non-for-profit. What is this? What is this? This feels not... Is this above board? This doesn't feel above board. I feel like there's some... I feel like if you were like a really annoying attorney, you could make a real big kerfuffle about this. Could you, like, imagine some dumb boomer donates to this thinking they're supporting Donald Trump, and all they're doing is funding Jeremy's hobbies, right? Like, is that a possibility? Because I don't think that this is going to Donald Trump at all. What portion of this is going to the president? You know? I don't know. Yeah, I can't buy anything, dude. So what I think happened is he got conservative money and had leftover cookbooks that he sold on this website. Yeah, maybe. Half this website doesn't work. Why is it so slow? The 2024 Trump playlist. Dude, I could finally listen to the Village People. You know, the really, really not gay group. I could play Pin to Tail on the Tim Walz, dude. Political Family Feud. Wow, that actually sounds awful. Jump the Wall, Ladder Ball. Political Family Feud. What you need. Poll results for political questions. Pad of paper. Well, I cannot... Oh, this is funny. The website is different than the last time I was here. Let me look at the recipes. You see the recipes. Dude. Tim Walz creamy horse radish sauce. No horses were harmed in the making of this. Is there something related to Tim Walz and horses, or Tim Walz and some weird homo sauce? Is there like a... Why does everything come back to being vaguely homoerotic? Camilla Harris's Turkey Meltdown. I gotta be honest, doesn't look too good. Not gonna lie. Buttigieg booty jiggling XL. If you serve me that at a tailgate, I'm gonna fucking explode. Dude, hey, you wanna eat this dish I've made? It's supposed to resemble a gay presidential candidate's butt being fucking fucked in the butt. Let's look at the Buttigieg big booty jiggling hot dog or whatever. Ingredients for the barbecue: burnt onions, 2 large onions, finely sliced 3 teaspoons vegetable oil. It's getting late. For the booty jiggling hot dogs, 4 jumbo sausages, so not a hot dog, so I'm not eating hot dogs. 2 heaped teaspoons mild curry powder, 12 rashers of streaky bacon. For the German mustard mayo, or serve with Tim Wall's creamy horse radish sauce, 100 grams thick mayonnaise, 40 grams German mustard, 3 tablespoons finely chopped shallot, 10 cornichons. Am I stupid? Finely sliced? Okay, now to assemble the hot dog, you take 4 long hot dog rolls, 8 thick slices of Bavarian cheese. And then it's directions. Do a booty jig at the end of it. Okay, make sure when you finish it, you throw it back. Okay, white people don't throw it back; they do a booty jig. I ain't never seen a white girl twerk, but I have seen a white girl booty jig. Is there anything more like that? AOC's green nude dip. 1 avocado, Greek yogurt, lime juice, pinch of garlic powder, teaspoon of salt, mash avocado, mix yogurt, lime juice, garlic powder, and salt, adjust the taste. This is just guac. You just made really bad green guac with absolutely nothing in it. You want to add a little bit of something else extra to it, you know? God forbid a brother enjoy a little cilantro. Camilla's unburdened by what has been casserole. What?
What on earth am I looking at?
AI cooking? The tomato? Yeah, the whitest guac known to man. They come off as very sexually repressed. I feel like that's a given, right? Like they're supposed to. I feel like it comes with the territory, right? You write one recipe about Pete Buttigieg getting fucked, even though I totally think he's the top personally, in my personal opinion. But why are you, a straight conservative man, so interested in Pete Buttigieg's booty hole? I'm just asking the questions, all right? I'm asking you to provide the answers. We got the Pelosi's punch. Okay. Hunter's Christmas crack. All right. This was funny. This was funny. I think that's funny. It's just like a pecan, or like one of those, like a bark, you know, because he wants whole. Well, we all know that he wants whole, but he can't say it, so we've got to say it for him. Okay. You know, we got to move the Overton window for where it's okay to want to top, because that's the only way he's going to enter the arena. You know what I mean? AOC's spicy cocktail. All of these are much more boring than the book. It's not as funny without the fucking horrendously offensive pictures. There is a Twitter. I can't wait to click on that. Joe Biden's breakfast tacos. Kathy Hochul's dirty old Manhattan. A lot of these are just what's in the book, dude. I can't believe I paid money for this. I paid money for this. I paid money for the whitest burger ever.
Why would someone make an iCookbook? Also are surprised, every right-wing nutcase is far in the closet.
Yeah, yeah. RFK Jr.'s nuclear chili. I guarantee you it's not spicy enough. Let's look at the ingredients. 3 pounds ground beef, half used sausage, half ground beef, 1 green pepper diced, 1 red bell pepper diced, 1 medium onion diced, 3 small jalapenos diced, seeds and veins removed for less spice, chili powder, cumin, Worcestershire sauce, spicy hot V8 or regular. It's not really this is not really a spicy dish that he's made. You know. It's spicy for the worm controlling his brain. Perhaps. That was way less interesting than the book, because the book has dumb pictures in it. Dare I say it, a picture book helps. Dude, here we go. Dude, it's got an egg on it still. Grassroots movement to energize folks to register a friend to vote and have parties to get people pumped to vote Trump. And then I never got my shit, Jeremy. Okay. Yeah, he's putting V8 in his chili.
Would you top Jeremy Diesel?
What kind of fucking question is that? What kind of fucking hold on, I responded too mean to that. That was way too mean. That was too mean. I didn't mean it like that. All right. You're allowed to donate money to ask me questions about whether or not I'd have gay sex. But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't top Jeremy. I wouldn't bottom for Jeremy either. I wouldn't do either because I don't like men. And I know that's very hard for some of you to imagine. But I don't. And you're going to have to just live with that.
Would you?
What I think is funnier is that you did it a second time. Oh. Gosh. I can at least admit when I think a guy is like, you know, like a pretty guy, like a hot guy, and still go, I don't want. Like, you can admit that somebody looks nice and not want to sleep with them, but Jeremy does not look nice, you know what I mean? It's weird his Twitter has an egg. I think he's going to repurpose that Twitter in 2028, probably. I can tell Q's watching on a delay, because I already answered that. Mention Beckett right now. Yeah, but I don't actually want to, you know?
@NotNotSurai became a member. @NotNotSurai celebrates 27 months of membership. What if you got $1 bajillion in free CBC?
Well, okay. If I got $1 bajillion to have gay sex with the quartering, yeah. Wouldn't you? Who the fuck wouldn't? He can hold the CBC, by the way. I don't want it. But if somebody was going to make me a billionaire by fucking that guy, yeah, man, I'll fuck the guy. I'd like to assume that there's an alternative universe in Gay Diesel. I'd like to assume that alternate universe Gay Diesel would have taste. I would hope so, too. I would hope so. Fucking outrageous questions. Diesel is pay to play. Which one of you wouldn't be?
What would it cost? What is your min-year value?
Fucking, I don't know. My minimum floor price, I guess, is 3 million. Okay, 3 million. 3 million and I'll do it. I just realized tailgaters for Trump thing is a bit. T for T is a way for people to describe trans people being in relationships, and it's probably for SEO outrage. Interesting that. Good point. If we all work together, we could probably crowdfund this. This would assume that Jeremy would be interested in that. In this, this would just, like, escalate to, Diesel, would you, in the middle of the night, approach Jeremy
I
and
got
ruin his
$8.
life?
Say something nice to me.
You're a very interesting chatter. How much to upload the video to the hub? This is just Dogwarts, but it's Jeremy. God. Could have said generous, but no. Yeah, I guess they're generous, but being generous, saying that they're generous sounded wrong, you know? Not the Jeremy Warts question. That's a completely different hypothetical, let's be honest. Oh, shit, that's funny. Dude. Well, there's more quartering vlogs, but I think I'll save that for, like, another slow day, I think. What the fuck are these videos, Jeremy? Here come the race riots. Where are these? Where, bitch? This guy, there's like a completely different universe out there. What is this? We're still talking about Fauci, bro? Fauci was from last season. We're not talking about last season anymore. You know? Fauci was from a different arc. All right? I literally have no idea what these race riot things are referring to. Let's see. Elon causes woke meltdown. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Powerball migrant play. USAID is back. We're done. Oh, is this so there's like a case right now where this black teen was out with his white friends and the teen ended up dead. And right now there's no sign that something malicious occurred, but there's a lot of like discourse online about whether or not the white teens committed a hate crime. But to be clear, anybody commenting on it saying that they know something happened or they know something didn't happen is lying, because the case is completely open and nobody's been charged and it's not even to trial yet. So you can't say you know. But many people have decided to throw their hats in advance before that happened. I think we all know what side Jeremy is on, is that those white children did nothing wrong and they're completely innocent small beings. The alternative giga woke version of this is that, yes, those white teens killed their black friend. But I don't know what happened. And neither do you, and neither does anybody else. And I know that there has been, like, some harassment to all of the parties involved, which is bad. But right now, to be clear, there is no answer to any of the questions. So anything that anybody is talking about is just speculation, right? And that's not saying something did or didn't happen. That's just saying we don't know yet, right? Who knows? Either way, a teen is dead, and that's awful. Like, there's no universe where that's not sad, because they were like a good student athlete and like.
I think the race riot thing is what's happening in Belfast.
Ah,
Northern
okay. Massive scandal, and it's about the Odyssey. notice how that has left the quartering universe. Quarter Brain should do the best thing for humanity and drink himself to death. Based alert. These thumbnails are crazy. I will say though, I think Jeremy's thumbnail game is getting worse. He used to have a really strong thumbnail game, but I think he lost his guy. Because these thumbnails aren't as good as his old thumbnails. Unironically, I think his thumbnails have fallen off. They used to be a lot better. Like, dude, we're still using the fucking lady screaming Wojak lady, dude. I need to see the Odyssey. I was gonna go see it today, but then I chose not to. I didn't have time, you know. Welcome to Cedar Point. I haven't looked at his channel in a long time. They're starting a race war. All right. This guy references the Boogaloo way too much. All right. When are we gonna start going? This guy talks about the Day of the Rope like it's coming every week. Is anybody not a little suspicious about that? What's that robe in your closet, Jeremy? What's that robe in your closet? What's that white robe in your closet? What's going on in there? What's going on in there? When do we get the electric boogaloo? To give you the long and short of it, the word boogaloo was co-opted from, like, you know, the whole idea is like Civil War II electric boogaloo. But like the boogaloo is like the race war that ends America and a white ethno-state rises from the ashes, basically. Tim Pool does the same thing and constantly talks about rooftop Koreans. Yeah, the Boogaloo Boys are one group, but most of them are all just talking about the Day of the Rope, which is something from like the 70s and is like a whole book and yada yada. There's a lot. I did a stream on it with Chud the Builder, but I had to take the stream down because there was too many N-words in it. So, you know. But yeah, it's like, who gives a fuck? Cracker Barrel? Woke Canadian, Taco Bell, Ice Karen, Chili's gets woke. I want to run into a guy in real life who's like, I'm really upset that Chili's went woke. I'm really mad about woke Chili's. I'm really mad about woke Chili's.
I prefer the Day of the Rake. Canada has had it too good for too long.
I don't even... This could be like a really funny bit, but without context, it just sounds like I'm really hoping that we take over Canada. It's like, whoa! Can't say that! They tried burning an infant. These are crazy, dude. These are fucking crazy. He's getting sued. Payback begins. It's a backfiring worse. Citizen Vigilante 2. I was gonna watch Citizen Vigilante to figure out what the fuck these people are watching. But then I chose to watch He-Man instead, which was a good time, and I think less miserable. Why is Angry Joe in all of these thumbnails? What the fuck is... Dude, 40-year-old men that get no play are really struggling these days, huh? Oh god. Yeah, I know. I know. It's from Uwe Boll. Dude, who is this guy? Who is this guy that that Quartering can't stop talking about? Is this David? Is that David from the David case? Yes, yes it is. Dude, he does not stop talking about it. He has talked about every single bit in the case. I'm so glad we're doing a weekend at Bernie's with McConnell until the 4th of August, where he's literally going to die right after the deadline passes. Why is he talking about David? Because it's a big court case, I guess. I don't know. It seems to be doing numbers for him. And when I say numbers, I mean he's not breaking much, but like, you know, he's still getting views. Dude, he talks about David a lot. Probably because he's like, David is like a really... Everything I learn about the David case is like more awful and terrible than the last time, right? But like, if you were racist and you wanted to reaffirm your beliefs about psychotic black men, David is definitely that, which is crazy because he murdered a fucking Latino child, so... She's collapsing. AOC humiliated. Trump destroys him. This feels like an alternate like anime universe where Trump is like Goku and Netanyahu is Frieza. I mean, he's kind of Frieza in real life, but you know. Yoga mom snaps. Tulsi Gabbard quits. That's crazy, dude. Tulsi Gabbard was like a fucking cult asset, which is crazy. Like being an asset for a cult is bananas. And then here's the quartering propagating the rumor that neo-Nazi accelerationist shooter was like trans, which ended up not being true at all, by the way. You know what's crazy is like if you watch these videos back after time has passed, there's like a good chance he's just spreading fake news. What cult was Tulsi Gabbard an asset for? Some Hindu cult? I don't remember. But yeah, that's all the Jeremy thumbnails. Goddamn, I haven't looked at it in a long time. This is awful. This is awful to see. He's an awful person. I have nothing but bad things to say about him. Are we really surprised that Coffee Brand Coffee is having issues when it's this guy who's in charge, dude? What do you mean apolitical coffee? Apolitical coffee, and then I see that the guy who's in charge of the company is like, the race riots are starting any day, guys. The race war's coming. It's like, brother, these beans are not good. Not good. The worst part too is that Jeremy's just a React Andy. Not even a React Andy. He'll just read somebody else's article, go, damn. And then that's it. All right. I provide more comedy, more commentary, more color commentary than he ever could. God. Well, that was not fun, but, you know, at least I didn't have to listen to his political opinions. By apolitical, he means he won't change our logo for Pride. That's the extent of the A in political. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. All right, I guess I should go read Memoirs of a Geisha before Kat, you know, calls me a mean name or something, I guess. I don't know what he would do, but I don't know. I gotta go to bed. I got work. I got stuff to do. I got things to do. People to see. All that shit. I don't know when I'll be back. Hopefully sooner rather than later, you know what I mean? Thank you.
A tip before much needed eep.
Yeah, I am going to eat so well. I'm very tired.